Hello, everybody. Hopefully, you guys all had a good weekend. The weekend is winding down, and for most of us, it's back to school or back to work tomorrow. So, while we're winding down this weekend, I also look at winding down the end of Highway Blossoms. I expect this to be the last part of this visual novel. But again, I don't really know how much longer it's going to go. I've already played it about 4.5 hours, and I do believe somebody said it's about a 6 hour playthrough. So we shall see how much longer it takes to get to the end of the Highway Blossoms here. After the first 3 hour episode I did last weekend, towards the end of that, I was feeling the game got kind of cheesy, but the game kind of redeemed itself a little bit last night. And was very, I guess, dry for the most part. It was kind of boring in a way, I guess. There really wasn't a whole lot happened in the hour and a half yesterday, except that these two, Amber and oh, what's her name? Amber, the girl she picked up, are starting to kind of fall for each other. So, kind of starting to fall in love, if you would. So it's basically centering on the relationship between these two. They were gonna go looking for more treasure in Arizona, New Mexico here, but yeah, now it looks like they have decided to make route to the Grand Canyon instead, the other direction of where the supposed rest of the treasure is. I mean, they've already found a good chunk of treasure in the first episode, towards the first episode. So we'll see what happens here, guys. I'm really curious as to why this game is getting 100% positive reviews the last 30 days and 96% positive reviews overall. So far, I'm not seeing this game be that good. I've played a lot better visual novels, I feel like. Unless this game just has a killer ending, then these ratings are a little bit baffling to me. Unless, like I say, people are just overrating this game simply because of this, nude patch or whatever that comes free with the game. Or it's available free when you buy the game at $12.99. I don't know. So we're going to go ahead and jump back into Highway Blossoms, guys, for what I'm expecting to be the last part of this visual novel. So welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Nobody in the chat. Let me go ahead and refresh my YouTube because I'm not seeing anybody in the chat. Make sure that's working while I launch the game here. All right. All right. We are here, guys. All right. Gonna pick up right where we left off last night at 3 o'clock in the morning. Yep, I think we are en route to the Grand Canyon right now. And my she was really sore from looking for treasure the day before, and she says my everything aches. It takes me a long lazy moment to remember why I'm sitting up, forehead plastered to the steering wheel rather than in my bed. I drove all the way through the night to get us to the Grand Canyon, arriving at the south rim right around the time that I couldn't keep my eyes open any longer. How you doing, Road? Good to see you here, bud. We're at a campsite, apparently, but I don't remember anything past reaching the park's edge and paying the entry fee. I probably shouldn't have been driving, but we made it here all right. Have you ever been to the Grand Canyon, Road? These ladies have arrived in the Grand Canyon. A sour taste pervades my mouth, courtesy of the empty energy drink at my side. I groan as I clamber up and go to brush my teeth. When I exit the bathroom, Marina is waiting at the front, all dressed and ready to go.
Good morning!
Morning.
Listen to the difference between them two. Listen, that's funny. Listen to the difference between these two.
Good morning!
And then she says...
Morning.
Morning. Funny.
Good morning!
Morning.
Morning. That's funny. I'm still too sleepy to match her enthusiasm. Undeterred, she comes forward and presses a mug into my hand.
I made you some coffee. But it was a couple of hours ago, so it's kind of cold now.
Oh, God.
Thanks.
It's also brewed too weak, but I don't tell her that. I drain my cup in seconds and then pour myself another. That's also finished in a couple of long gulps.
You really like coffee, huh?
Oh, God.
I guess. I think I'm just addicted.
You don't even put any cream or sugar in it, right?
Nope. I always drink it black.
She wrinkles her nose in disgust.
I can't stand the taste.
I noticed. Have you gone and looked around yet?
There are dozens, if not hundreds of people milling around, and that's just what I can see from here. Most likely treasure hunters.
Look around. Without you?
Treasure hunters at the Grand Canyon? That wasn't on their map, I don't think.
Yeah. It's what? Noon?
Almost, but I didn't want to leave without you.
That's sweet of her.
What if I got lost? You're like my map.
Maybe not.
Besides, it's boring to go look around by myself.
You think? I used to do it lots before we met up. It was nice to be alone and think.
Her face falls. Seconds later, I realize my mistake and mentally kick myself.
Not to say I don't like having you around. I just meant it's not so bad being on your own for a little bit.
She ponders for a moment.
Well, I don't like being alone.
A small frown makes me think she's upset, but then it melts away and is replaced with her trademark smile. Something about how the sunlight frames her face right then makes my heart skip a beat. I want to admire her for longer, but I think my face gives it away. Soon she shifts, asking with her eyes.
Something wrong?
I shake my head to clear it.
Nah, sorry. Just zoned out for a second. Let me finish this coffee, and then we can go.
Okay. I don't know how you can be up and at 'em just like that. Usually it takes me hours to wake up.
I know. I do a lot of waiting for you.
Marina stomps over to play hit me on the shoulder.
Meanie, I do my best for you.
Yeah. There aren't enough hours in the day for you to sleep as much as you want.
Oh my God, Ron. There aren't enough hours in the day for you to sleep as much as you want.
What? Are you saying I don't need my beauty sleep?
She's just kidding, but I freeze. She is joking, right?
Amber?
Oh, she's in awe of how beautiful she is. The jaunty tone in her voice is gone.
Yeah?
I croak out a response.
Zone out again?
Something like that.
Even I'm surprised by how off guard she caught me. It was just a simple joke, but it was a little too relevant, seconds after thinking of how pretty she looked. Looks. I need to stop being so weird sometimes, or that'll scare her off more than her finding out that I might, just maybe, could possibly have a crush on her.
Maybe you just need more coffee.
Probably.
Her grin gets huge.
You need as much coffee as I do sleep. See? We're even.
I laugh as I pour myself a third cup of coffee, tilting the pot to get the dregs.
Maybe you're right.
She prances back to the front door, nose held in the air like she's won some kind of victory. I catch her peeking back to see if I'm watching, so I make a big show of rolling my eyes. She sticks her tongue out in return. When I set my cup down in the sink, Marina throws the door open and waits for me to step out. Okay then. For having been mostly asleep and in the dark, it looks like I did an okay job of parking. By which I mean that we're actually in one of those designated camping spaces. That's more than I can say for a lot of the others here. Tents cover nearly every patch of land that doesn't have an RV on it. Some even come right up against the road itself, causing a few cars that pass by to have to hug the edge. Just like back in Shiprock, this is a fiasco. Squads of little kids rampage around, squirting each other and everyone else with water guns, and just being in the way. One little brat runs up to us and holds his squirt gun like he's gonna shoot me. But the death glare that I give him sends him running back in the other direction. Funny.
Not a fan of kids?
Not the rotten ones.
Marina, on the other hand, waves at a retreating boy and giggles as a weak burst of water hits her.
I don't know how you can stand it.
They're just kids. Besides, I'm pretty used to it.
Big family, right?
Yep.
We start to walk in the direction of the canyon itself, pausing sometimes to let cars or tour groups pass us by.
This is such a mess. Wonder how many of them are treasure hunters.
Well, it's the Grand Canyon, so a lot of people are probably just regular tourists, right?
Yeah, probably. I feel bad for them. And all the other people who just want to enjoy these parks.
You really hate people, huh?
You really hate people? Welcome to the stream, everybody.
What? Where'd that come from?
I don't know. You're just always complaining about there being too many people around.
Do I really complain that much? Thinking about it, I guess I do.
I don't hate people. I just don't like when it's all chaotic like this.
So you don't like crowds then?
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I don't like big crowds. It's why I hate like Black Friday, for example. Like, I can't stand going out Black Friday shopping. It drives me absolutely bonkers. Yeah, big chaos like that, big crowds of people, especially up in the mountains or at a resort or whatever. It's like somewhere where you should be enjoying nature, and all you see is 50 million people. Yeah, it kind of irritates me. How you doing, Sarah? What's going on, hun?
That's closer, yeah.
Kinda weird that you're so hyped for this music thing then, don't you think? Isn't that gonna be the biggest crowd yet?
Sure, but that's different.
Yeah, exactly. It's different when you're going to a concert as opposed to going to like the Grand Canyon and supposed to be admiring the quiet beauty of nature. Yeah, I mean, it's understandable that you're going to have a big crowd of people at a concert. I agree completely. But out there at the Grand Canyon or in the mountains or in Yellowstone Park or something like that, and you have billions of people, I just find that super annoying. I don't know. It's just me. Right.
Why?
I don't know. Just is.
Why?
Huh.
What are you, 5? No wonder you get along with kids so well.
What are you, 5? We both laugh.
But I guess it's just because everyone is there for the same thing. You have something in common with them.
Isn't everyone here for the same thing?
Yeah, but
I struggle to find the explanation. But she laughs it off and shrugs.
I'm just kidding anyway. You can't be the only one who teases. You don't like big crowds, and that's fine.
What about you?
I think it's fun. And besides, you get to meet all sorts of cool people. Who knows? Maybe you'll meet a special someone or a long-lost relative or something.
Special someone, huh?
Maybe. Would be pretty unlikely, though.
Yeah, all the other people are trying to enjoy nature too. That's true, Sarah.
Probably. But it's still fun to think about.
Yeah.
And speaking of odds... Amber...
Amber, come back. Marina points at another cluster of motorhomes down the road. I follow her gaze, immediately understanding. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, it's gonna be Mariah again, I bet. I bet you it's gonna be Mariah and company. Taking up 2 spaces because of size and bad parking is a familiar titan of an RV. Yep.
God, no.
Listen to that voice. God, no. But Marina is already heading towards it. My nemesis. Mariah's motorhome. The door flies open seconds before Marina reaches it. Out strolls Joseph, Tess close behind.
You call that a break? You've had boyfriends that last longer.
Sis has never had a boyfriend.
My point exactly.
Quit your moaning. You two just need more work ether.
You mean ethics, but you've probably never heard the word.
Mariah appears in the doorway leaning on a shovel. I can see her about to retort, but then she spots either me or Marina, and her glare is replaced with a smug grin.
Well, well, well. Look who finally caught up.
Hey, guys!
Oh, hey there, ladies.
I sigh and speed up my glacial pace. May as well get this over with. Mariah picks up a crate of tools from beside her and carries them out before shoving the crate into Joseph's hands. His knees buckle at the weight, and he sets it on the ground.
Did you follow our dust all the way here?
I wish we'd seen it so we could have stayed away.
Ouch! Damn.
Maybe you should go now and get a head start on the next piece before we find the one here.
She clutches her shovel like a sword and points it at me.
Unless you're gonna fight us for this one too.
I raise my hands and surrender.
We already had one bust at Canyon du Chat. This one's all yours to screw up.
The shovel drops a couple of inches, either as a response or because her arm's getting sore.
Canyon du Chat? But there's only one Grand Canyon.
There's more than one canyon in the world, Mare.
Figured it was there at the Mummy Cave ruins, but we didn't find anything. So if you want to search all 2,000 miles of the Grand Canyon, then good luck.
2,000 miles of the Grand Canyon, oh my god.
Damn it!
Mariah throws down her hands and the tool bag slips from her, plummeting onto Joseph's foot, hard. The crates in his hand are the next to fall. This time to the other foot. Oh my god, this poor guy. The boxes burst open, flooding the ground with heavy hammers and wrenches. That would hurt, having that much weight on your foot. Alright. A gasp escapes his mouth, and then silence.
Are you gonna get drunk and cry yourself to sleep again, sis?
Somehow, though through pained grunts, Joseph manages to speak.
The limit is once per week.
Too bad this wasn't animated. Yeah, it'd be better if it was animated. Mariah's eyes twitch. I love how, like, this guy never even opens his eyes. Every time we've seen this guy, he's had closed eyes like he's asleep. Like he's a walking fucking zombie asleep. Mariah's eyes twitch. In one smooth motion, she whirls around and clonks her companion's heads, puffs, and crosses her arms. She's a real bitch, man. Joseph reacts like any normal being would and rubs his head to soothe his never-ending pain. Tess hardly acknowledges it, wobbling back and forth like a human bobblehead. I don't think I'll ever get over how creepy that girl is. He clonks Joseph again for good measure. Marina and I both wince. I imagine this is how it was for Howard. Oh, when he first met Linda. That's the people they met yesterday in the other place.
At least we'd get to see the canyon that way.
Jesus!
From out of nowhere, Tess pops up at my side.
Tess has been wanting to go out and see the sights, but Mariah's too busy breaking her back for that.
Big sisters are bossy, huh?
Tess nods, which prompts Marina to stoop down and hug her like an apathetic kindred spirit.
You're not alone!
Marina looks up at me, eyes big.
Can we keep her? She's so cute!
No. Oh my god. No.
That's property theft!
Sorry, only one stray at a time.
Aww.
Marina releases Tess and reaches out her hand as they float apart.
Anyway, let's get going. If they're gonna waste all day here, we can at least leave them to it.
But Mariah waves her shovel in Joseph's face.
Pick up our crap. We gotta rethink our strategy.
Crap?
Yes! This crap!
She taps the crate that she's forced on him just minutes ago. Joseph covers Tessa's ears and then mutters something that I can't make out.
Wait, I have an idea.
Uh-oh. 4 pairs of eyes turn to look at her. Oh boy.
Me and Amber were about to go sightseeing. Why don't you guys come with us?
No! No, Marina, what are you doing? No! No, don't you know how much Amber hates these guys? Or how much Amber hates Mariah, especially? What the hell are you doing asking them to come along? Oh, not good, not good.
That's a terrible idea.
That was pretty good. They all respond, or they both respond. That's a terrible idea. Yep, I don't think they like each other. That was pretty funny. Alright.
Hey, we agree on something.
But Tessa's eyes sparkle with determination, nodding as she reaches up to tug on Mariah's suit. How do you call that a suit?
That's one vote yes.
Is that a suit, Ro? Does that look like a suit? I guess she's got a jacket on, but it doesn't look like much of a suit to me. She turns to me, pleading. A pleading look at her eyes, hoping it will make 2 votes for yes.
I think that sounds like a good time, too.
Oh no.
It'd be a nice break.
I forbid it. You've already had a break. We have too much to focus on. Getting distracted by dusty old rocks is the last thing we need.
You always say that, but look at her.
He points to Tess, her face shining with interest since the word sightseeing.
When did she last show interest in something? Hell, has she ever shown interest in something?
We're still not going.
An irritable groan rumbles through Joseph's throat, but he still looks as casual and relaxed as he usually does.
Look, we're not always going to do what you want just because you say so.
Jacket, yeah.
We're going, and if we have to, we'll force you to come along.
Oh boy. Marina laughs awkwardly.
It's fine. You guys don't have to come if you don't want to.
But it's too late for that. Mariah lets out a single, disingenuous ha and marches to Joseph.
You're gonna force me to go, huh?
That's right.
She stares him down, or up to be accurate. The top of her head only reaches to his chin. Regardless, she gives him a nasty grin and repeatedly pokes his chest for daring to defy her. Oh boy. That doesn't seem to faze him, though, as his lips curl into an ominous smile.
And how exactly do you plan to do that?
Vast and majestic, the canyon dominates the horizon. As far as my eyes can see, calico rocks are given a murky tint by the dying sunlight. It's a breathtaking view. I just stare out over the abyss, watching as the sun slowly climbs down the sky.
What are you even looking at?
She doesn't even know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the canyon, you dumb bitch. Jesus Christ. What the hell's wrong with this bitch, Road? Huh? What the hell is wrong with this bitch? What are you even looking at? How can you see somebody staring at the sunset and the Grand Canyon and looking over the Grand Canyon and a sunset over the Grand Canyon and ask, what are you even looking at? Like, what the hell? Are you mentally deficient? You're at the Grand Canyon, you dumb fucking broad. Yeah, like, even this Mariah is rubbing me the wrong way at this point. She says it flatly, not like a question. Mariah's been this way for hours now, since Joseph practically dragged her out of the RV. But what are you even looking at? Jesus. While the other three have amused themselves with disposable cameras and curiosity, Mariah has tailed me like a mangy dog. She won't let me forget about her relentless apathy, punctuating it with frequent sighs. Oh, that's annoying when you hear somebody just sighing all the time. I hate that shit.
I'm looking at the cliffs, and considering sending you to get a closer look at the bottom.
Wow, that's fucked up. I'm looking at the cliffs and considering sending you to get a closer look at the bottom. He's basically threatening to push her over the fucking edge of this fucking Grand Canyon cliff. Wow. Wow, Amber. Damn. You know it. Threatening to push her ass off the canyon.
This is your fault, you know.
What is?
That we're here. Or at least that I'm here.
Hey, I didn't want you along either. That was all Marina.
That's true.
Just tell that airhead no sometime. Guessing you've never turned in a request of hers in your life.
I shoot her a dirty look and the word airhead. Wow. Mariah rolls her eyes. He doesn't care one bit.
She wanted to play with Tess. Someone has to.
Oh, ouch! Basically saying she's having to fill in for her big sister. Ow, they're exchanging some hate here, guys. The drama is growing now.
Joe does it all the time.
Her ability to miss the point is actually kind of impressive.
Besides, you should see the look I get if I try to stop her from something. Maybe I can't say no.
Be more like me. Mental fortitude and training.
It's almost breaking down when someone threatens to take away the key to your liquor cabinet, part of that mental fortitude and training.
That's fucked up. It's almost breaking down when someone threatens to take away the key to your liquor cabinet. Damn. She clicks her tongue in annoyance and grumbles.
I could have still said no. I was just doing it for Tess.
I turn my attention over to the impromptu photo shoot again. Both the girls climb on the rocks and lean against the railings to take pictures. Joseph trails close behind, probably to make sure that nobody slips. Sometimes he's pulled in for a picture too. Marina's taken pictures of just about everything: the sky, the ground, a pouting Mariah. As a photographer, she's not very picky. Tess, on the other hand, seems to have an actual knack for it. She's taken pictures of scenic valleys and close-ups of beautiful desert flowers in full bloom, usually with Joseph as a model. She's even managed to get close enough to take one of an eagle perched on a rock. Wow. Not hard when you're practically invisible, though.
I don't even know why she's so interested in this stuff.
What? The wonder and majesty of naturally formed geographic wonders?
That's a fancy way of saying overgrown rocks.
Overgrown rocks. How do rocks grow? Oh my god. Overgrown rocks. That makes you sound real intelligent.
Who cares? Shouldn't you be glad that she is?
Why? I'd prefer if she cared about something that matters.
By the way, Mariah is Tessa's, the little girl's bigger sister.
Like getting rich?
Huh.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's Americana this, sightseeing that. What the hell even is Americana?
What the hell even is Americana? Damn. This Mariah... I mean, I think they're trying to make Mariah be kind of an evil bitch. Or... They're definitely trying to make her be a bitch.
Don't mess with Texas shirts and old rocking chairs that some hicks farted on.
Don't mess with Texas... There's one for you, Road. Are you still here, Road? How about that? Don't mess with Texas shirts and old rocking chairs that some hicks has farted on.
Do you ever listen to yourself talk? Just be happy she's interested in culture and expanding her horizons.
Agreed.
Culture? Our favorite foods are bastardized versions of foreign cuisine. Culture's a sham. When I was her age, I was interested in things that actually mattered. Like treasure.
Like money.
Years later, and nothing's changed.
Wow, so basically they're making Mariah here be nothing but a money-hungry, treasure-seeking bitch. The irony. Since the other girls are taking a break, Joseph has joined us. Yeah.
They want to take some pictures with you.
Mariah starts to protest, but Joseph cuts her off.
Your sister wanted me to ask.
Her mouth shuts and she rolls her eyes yet again.
Fine.
She stalks over to where they are, kicking up clouds of dust with each heavy step. Sorry, guys. Got just a little bit of a cold left, so I'm muting myself when I sneeze.
Sorry if she's causing you trouble. She can be a bit of a handful.
She can be, yeah, you can just erase this handful here. She can be a B-I-T, yeah, just replace of a handful with C-H. She can be a bitch. That's what you need. Cross this out, put a C-H right there. Yeah.
I know it's hard to believe, but there's a good heart in there. Somewhere.
No, it's hard to believe, but there's a good heart in there somewhere. Do you guys believe it? You guys believe it? I don't know.
She'd probably sell it for $1 if she could.
Oh, wow. She'd sell her heart for $1, huh? Joseph laughs heartily.
You might be right.
You might be right.
That's just how she is, I guess. Been that way since we were kids.
It's hard to imagine that someone could not only know Mariah as a child, but want to maintain a friendship with her for the rest of their lives. Come to think of it, Joseph's a bit of an odd case compared to the other two. Odd, just because he's so normal.
Hey, can I ask you something?
Shoot.
Do you care about the treasure?
He scratches the stubble on his chin and thinks about it.
Like, you have a good head on your shoulders. Why do you let her drag you around?
Wow.
Well, it's not that I don't care about the treasure. Being rich doesn't sound like a bad gig at all. But I wouldn't say I have a good head on my shoulders either. If it came down to treasure hunting or kicking back on a couch all day, I'd pick the couch.
Huh.
Figures.
Wow. His own broad smile returns. I didn't even notice it disappear.
But as for them, one of them needs someone to look out for her, and the other is 10.
Huh. Yeah, one of them needs someone to look out for her, and the other's 10. That's funny. That's funny.
If she's the one who gets me off the couch, I'm the one who gets her to sit down sometimes. Even back in school, she was always picking fights. Didn't matter if it was another kid or a teacher. Got her ass kicked a couple times. If she were all on her own, she'd tear apart the whole Southwest.
Huh.
That make sense?
I look over at where the three of them are still taking pictures. Tess is standing on a rock so that she's at the same level as the others. Right now, two of her fingers hold Mariah's mouth into shape of a smile. On Mariah's other side, Marina holds the camera out and takes her picture. Then Tess takes one, though Marina keeps her hand out of Mariah's mouth.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Plus, someone's gotta make sure Tess doesn't starve.
Catching us watching, Marina waves vigorously. She nearly knocks Mariah's lights out while she does, and I wave back. Tess says something that gets Marina's attention, and after a second, Marina hurries over. I wince as I watch her curiously climb over the rocks, scared that she's going to slip and hurt herself. But she arrives unharmed.
Tess wanted me to ask if you'd go be in the pictures too, Joe. She says she wants all three of you.
Looks like that's my cue.
With nothing more to say, he drifts over to the others and exchanges spots with Marina. Tess passes him the camera, and he holds it up to his eye.
Why are you using this cheap thing anyway? The camera on Mariah's phone is way better.
He takes the camera from Tess and dangles it from his fingers, observing it like it's an ancient, long-buried artifact.
The memory is full from all her journal entries.
Journal?
It's more like angsty poetry.
Angsty poetry, huh? Mariah turns towards me, panic and fury in her eyes, but she's too slow.
How did that one go again? Oh yeah. Rivers of amber pour from my bottle like tears, forever sweeping El Dorado beyond my grasp.
Mariah slouches.
I hate you both.
Aw, but we love you, Mariah.
Tess clings to her sister's waist like a magnet, showing her affection. It goes ignored.
Now squeeze in. I'm not sure how we're all gonna fit.
We watch for a moment before I tip Marina on the shoulder. That should keep them busy for a while.
Quick, while they're distracted.
What?
I grab Marina's hands and dash off, dragging her behind me. Her feet have trouble keeping up, but I don't slow down, and I don't look back.
Just keep running.
So she just took off. That's pretty funny.
Amber, where are we going?
Anywhere but where they are. We wander around for a while until we found another viewpoint that's empty of the other people. I'm guessing that a lot of the treasure hunters are out looking now, since the oppressive heat isn't so bad. Right? I lean against the rail, my head propped on my arms, and the cool metal feels nice against my skin. Marina does the same, and she sighs wistfully.
So pretty.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Looking out across the Grand Canyon as the sun goes down and stuff like that.
Which part?
All of it, especially the sunset.
Nearly all the sunlight has been swallowed by the canyon's colossal darkness. Shadows cast by the stones mute the gorgeous colors as the sun melts into the tip of the canyon. It's barren and desolate, but Marina's right. It's pretty.
Oh, let's take a picture before it gets too dark. You're not getting out of this one. You haven't been in any of the pictures today.
Yeah, that's on purpose.
Scooch in.
Like, together?
Duh.
She slides towards me and I squirm away on instinct.
What's wrong?
Immediately, before I can answer, she grins slyly.
Wait a second. You're camera shy, aren't you?
I'm not.
I retort a little too quickly.
Oh?
Clearly, she doesn't believe me.
It's not that I'm afraid of them or anything. I just don't like having my picture taken.
How come?
I shrug.
Just don't.
Well, you'll have to deal with it this time.
She zips over, and before I can react, she has pressed her cheek to mine. The shutter clicks, and I'm momentarily stunned by the flash. Before I can protest or enjoy the closeness, she's already pulled away and is checking the results.
It's cute, look!
She shoves the camera into my face, but it's so close and the screen is so small that I can't actually see the picture. I just nod.
I can't wait to get these developed.
Turning to me, Marina pauses.
How do you get photos developed anyway?
We'll have to take them to the store and have them do it. Most big supermarkets can.
Okay, first thing tomorrow then.
Sure.
Like a hummingbird, Marina darts forward and gives me a big tight hug.
Thanks for coming out here. It's been so amazing. I hope it was worth it.
I look down at her, pressed against me.
Yeah, it was.
Marina pulls away to my great disappointment. She opens her mouth like she's going to say something, but then seems to change her
What?
mind.
What?
You were about to say something? What was it?
Oh, never mind.
Oh boy.
Hey, you can't do that. Now I
Awkward.
really want to know.
This is awkward. Who thinks this is awkward, guys? This is awkward. Like, I don't know why it's awkward. It's just awkward. She giggles, but it's distracted. It's a distracted sounding.
Okay, fine. I was just gonna ask, why is it that you hate Mariah and her group so much?
Where'd that come from?
Marina turns away and stares out over the canyon again. It's getting pretty dark. She's quiet for a moment before she talks.
I don't know, you just complain about them a lot.
I don't hate them, dummy. Joe and Tess are fine. It's just Mariah that I have a problem with.
How come?
She's a bitch. Loud
She
and
said it.
rude and obnoxious. Ugh, I really
said it.
hate people like that.
She's a bitch, loud and rude and obnoxious.
She thinks she's always right, too.
Sounds like someone else I know.
Yep. Wow.
Ah, don't give me that. We're nothing alike.
Marina laughs.
Yeah.
Half a minute passes in silence.
You're way cuter than she is.
Oh, wow. Time stops, and so does my heart. Everything feels like it's frozen. I look over at Marina, but she's looking at the canyon and not at me. Still just a couple of inches away. I gulp, swallowing the lump forming in my throat.
You said that before, I think. You're cuter.
Uh-oh, here goes the "you're cute, you're cuter." Well, you're cutest thing.
Oh, hush, I'm trying to compliment you.
I fall silent for a moment, not sure of how to respond.
You know, back when we first met, I meant what I said about you being cute, too.
She giggles again.
I'd forgotten about that.
As if on cue, a light breeze starts up, causing her hair to billow out like a cloud. Her side tail hastily bound. It looks as if it might come undone. Finally, she turns to look at me, her eyes wide and lips glistening. My palms are dry and my knees tremble. Gulping yet again, I cross the short distance between us in half of a step. Leaning in, and what's gonna happen, guys? She's about to kiss her. Something's about to happen. What's gonna happen? My guess is Mariah is gonna show up. That's my guess. Or Mariah or Tess or one of the three is gonna say something. Something like that. That's my guess. We'll see. What do you guys think?
There you are!
What'd I tell you? Boy, am I good or what? This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is kind of the cheesiness of this visual novel. I mean, it's very predictable so far. It's, I wouldn't exactly say this is well written, and it still baffles me how this visual novel is getting like 96% positive reviews. I don't know. We'll see. Let's continue. How did I know Mariah was going to show up again there, though? I think you guys kind of felt it, too. Someone's about to die, she says. That's funny. Mariah's shrill voice cuts through the moment, rupturing my eardrums and my patience. I pull away, and Marina has already turned around to face them. She messed up my intimate moment. The trio appear like specters out of the darkness.
You left us behind!
We tried to, at least.
We tried to, at least.
You were the ones who dragged us out here. I at least expect you to stick around.
Cowed into submission, Marina's shoulders fall.
Back off. I wanted to go see the sunset without you sighing about it.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was a waste of time either way. Come on, we're going back.
I love how he, like I said, he's always asleep. Mariah lopes off down the path at a brisk pace. Marina and Tess are back to photographing anything and everything through the low light, though the low light means the pictures aren't going to show up. Joseph and I trail behind at the end of the party.
How was the sunset?
Sighing, I pull ahead. Right now, even Joseph seems a little bit too much.
It was okay.
The campsite has cleared up a lot since we set off this morning. It's still pretty full, but at least it's not claustrophobic anymore. A few campfires illuminate people that are left behind. Plus, the smoke keeps the bugs away. All 5 of us huddle beside my RV. The goodbyes are taking a while, since Marina has to hug everyone at least twice. And then she says something to reignite the conversation, and the whole process starts all over. Finally, I grab the door handle to signal that we're about to be done. Marina automatically begins the final round of hugs. Oh,
So,
God.
what's next for you guys?
Yeah, maybe not.
Back to poring over the journal to see what we can find. Once we locate it, it's straight off to wherever.
Joseph heaves a heavy sigh.
No rest for the weary.
You don't get weary, Slacker. You get motivated.
Oh, you should put that on a shirt!
Huh.
Would you buy one?
Nobody would.
Then no.
All of us, even Mariah, laugh a little. Finally, Joseph puts his arms around Tess and starts to lead them away.
We'll get out of your hair for the night.
Starting down the path, they walk towards their motorhome.
Wait a sec.
They freeze. Marina looks at me too, curious.
Next piece is almost definitely at Arches, in Utah.
I hear Marina gasp, though I don't see it. Joseph and Tess both look at Mariah, their profiles barely visible from the flickering campfires in the distance. Mariah nods stiffly.
Thanks.
It's probably the first time she's ever said that word. With a wave of her hand, she turns and they finally leave. Marina and I both watch until they vanish out of sight, and then Marina squeals.
I'm so proud of you, Amber! And shocked! That was super nice of you!
Wasn't much. This one's pretty easy to figure out when you take the time. I probably saved them half an hour at best.
Still, it's the thought that counts.
She's probably trying to keep them from going wherever they go. Amber's probably thinking of going in a different direction.
Why'd you do it, though?
Yep.
Someone's gotta take care of them after all.
I look away, pretending to scratch an itch on my cheek.
They're not that bad.
The solemn loneliness in the open road extends as far past my headlights and into the dark. A cool wind breezes through the cracked window and tosses around our hair like a jazzy experiment track crackles through the speakers. With each horn screech, Marina sinks further into her seat. How you doing, Laurent? What's going on, buddy? She looks miserable.
Do you want me to turn down the music a little?
Oh, no, I'm fine. It's not bothering me.
She tries to disguise the glint of agony in her eyes by speaking in her usual peppy tone, but the pain still seeps through the cracks in her voice. A hollowness anchors down my chest. I don't try to bury it. The last time someone told me everything was fine, I ended up losing them. Maybe I'm just paranoid, but I don't want to risk it.
Seriously, are you okay?
Yeah, what's wrong now? I gotta know now what's wrong. Alright, man, have a good night. Road, sleep well, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, Laurent, welcome, man. We are probably doing the last half hour to hour of this visual novel, I would suspect. I don't know, we'll see.
No, really, I'm fine.
Don't lie to me.
Yeah, she's not fine. My sharpness takes her off guard while she shifts her gaze, but I don't care. This could be urgent. Sighing, she hangs her head.
Well...
What do you guys think is wrong with her? What do you think's wrong with her, Sarah? What is it?
Yeah?
I kinda need to...
That's all it is she needs to use the bathroom? Her voice trails off into a pit. Regret and shame color her face, as if she's brought great shame to her household, or something equally dumb. My voice grows tense, urgent, my driving sloppy. Every pore of my clammy palms is stuck to the wheel. The hollowness comes back.
Marina, what is it?
I kinda need to... You know...
Gotta go to the bathroom, woman. All it is her needing to go to the bathroom. That's all it is. Like, seriously? I kind of need to, you know. Marina winces, her mouth stretching into a pallid grimace. She clutches at her stomach and she groans. Oh, she needs to go poo. She needs to take a poop. I guess. You are kidding. I slap my hand against my forehead. How many more times am I going to let myself get worked up over something so stupid?
What did I tell you about that burrito?
I know, but I was so hungry.
You never trust gas station burritos, Mare. That's one of the first rules of the road.
Never trust gas station burritos.
I didn't think it would end up like this. I didn't know.
A flood is starting to form in her eyes, whether it's because of pain or my scolding, I'm not sure. Hopefully it's both, and she takes this opportunity to learn something.
Well, you're gonna have to deal with it for now. The septic tank needs to be drained, and I can't do that until we get to Arches.
What?
Despair sets in, and the hopelessness of the situation dawns on her.
I'll stop if we pass a gas station or something, but that's not gonna be for a while.
Uh-oh. Despair turns into desperation. Marina frantically looks for something to latch onto. Anything to help her reclaim her hope.
What about a rest stop?
You serious?
Sure, why not? I saw a sign for one down the road. Should be coming up pretty quick.
No.
What? And why not?
Because you're better than that.
You're better than a rest stop? If you have to go, you have to go. Oh my god, the whining is maddening, Sarah says.
No, I'm not, I swear! Please, I really gotta go.
Rest stops aren't for people like us. They're for people like Mariah.
What? What is that about? Rest stops aren't for people like us, they're for people like Mariah? What the hell is that about? I think I'm starting to hate everybody. I think I agree with Sarah that her whining is maddening. And this is just fucked up from Amber. Like, how are you too good for a rest stop? And saying that's only for people like Mariah. I don't know.
Only the scum of the earth use them.
Only the scum of the earth use a rest stop. What about when you have to go poo? You're the scum of the earth because you gotta stop on the side of a frickin' highway? Better than a rest stop? Like, if you have to go, you have to go. I'm baffled, guys. How did this fucking visual novel, how is it getting 96% positive reviews? At least, that's what Gramps used to say. I've never actually been to one, but mostly because he refused to use them. But if people loving hippie like Gramps refer to them as cesspools of, where seedy unbelly of humanity flocks, I'm not sure I want to.
Amber.
Yeah, I thought Amber was better than this. Her voice deepens, straining as she enunciates every single word.
I don't care if it makes me scum. If we don't stop now, I'm going to explode.
Well, I wave it off, but before I can counterattack, he dives in an inch from my face.
Explode, Amber! We're going to that rest stop whether you like it or not. Do you hear me?
I gulp and reply with a shaky nod as Marina looks on with crazed eyes. I never knew she could be so scary. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, does she prefer to shit herself? Exactly. She backs off and then the usual pluck in her voice returns, flipping from sour to sweet in an instant.
Thank you.
Defeated and mildly disturbed, I jitter my eyes back and forth as I wait for the exit. Who knows, maybe it won't be so bad. Wouldn't be the first time Gramps over-exaggerated. I'm 90% sure he was wrong about the government introducing the plague to local cat populations. Yeah, pretty sure too. I pull over to an isolated exit ramp, which trails off into the dark lot. The lonely island is lit by a sharp light emanating from the shack on the edge of the lot. It brightens up the immediate area and the surrounding terrain falls into a dim glow. Despite the eerie darkness, we're not alone. A lone big rig with half-assed parking job hulks over the lot. Must have been in a rush. Rolling my eyes, I squeeze into a parking space that isn't being hogged by the trailer. I cut the ignition, and in the ensuing silence, scan the shadowed area for anything unusual. As I watch, a silhouette emerges from the door, framed by the light from within. But before I can warn her, Marina springs from the motorhome to run for the shack.
Hey, wait! It's not safe!
Oh boy. She's gotta go, dummy! Without pulling the key from the dash, I launch out the door and after Marina. Oh my god. Poop on her seat, Marina. Exactly, Fairy. Yeah, exactly, Sarah. Why the hell do we always end up running? The figure towers in front of the entranceway. Picking up gravel, I screech to a standstill right behind Marina. Marina keeps jogging in place, unable to distract herself from the inevitable any other way. And as my eyes adjust, his features materialize. He just stares at us from an uncomfortable period for a time, the bill of his unwashed baseball cap masking his eyebrows, making his stoic expression even harder to read.
The woman's bathroom is closed.
Oh no, that's bad. The woman's bathroom is closed. Oh boy, we're in for something now. She's gonna poop herself, guys. Marina, if you guys can imagine this, I think everybody's been in a situation where you're in the car or you're in somewhere and you have to go. You have to go really bad. And then can you imagine like getting out just knowing you gotta freaking shit like a mofo? You get out and then all of a sudden this guy stops you saying, hey, the bathroom's closed. I mean, in that situation, I think most people would just be like, oh, fuck, I got shit. And you'd either shit your pants or something. Yep. If I was her, I'd be fucking running behind the building or something and just fucking pulling my pants down and shitting all over the sidewalk or something. Because when you gotta go, you gotta go. The woman's bathroom is closed. Not good. Poor Marina. He points to a paper taped on the door, the words out of order scribbled in marker. Oh, God.
I checked.
His scratchy voice rings with a slight twang. Dried food stains sit splattered on his tank top, his flannel unable to conceal the ripe stench. I have to force myself to not look away.
I can't hold it anymore.
Exactly.
What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Yep.
What do we do? What do we do?
Yep, that's what I'm saying. You can't hold it anymore. You can't hold it no more.
Relax. Just use the guy's bathroom.
Yep.
What? Is that even legal?
Is it even legal?
Dunno. Probably. Just use it. I'll keep watch.
The man interjects, his eyes still fixated on us.
Don't worry. I wasn't too bad this time. It should be cleared out.
A disgusted groan slips out of me, and I'm going to pretend I didn't even hear that.
Well, if you say so.
Oh my God, you called me fairy. Fairy girls, Sarah Bear. Our voice echoes from within.
Whoa! Is that a trough? I thought they were just a myth!
Oh my God, she says, is that a trough? I thought that was just a myth. Oh my God. I look at the man and shrug while awkwardly laughing off Marina's comment. Why is he still here?
So, is that your truck?
His serious expression morphs into a wide grin, showing his sticky yellow teeth, each about as cracked and decaying as the walls. Wiping his nose with the back of my hand, he leans up against an old soda machine.
Why, yes, actually. Yes, it is.
I don't think I've ever shit in a gas station in my life. Really? John Mira? Yeah, you kind of sounded like her now. You've never shit in a gas station? You've never been traveling and had to go? Wow, that's interesting. Now I'm sad. Aw, Sarah. Don't be sad, hon. So he deepens his voice, letting the tone sway up and down, huh? I can't tell if he's trying to be cool, seductive, charming, or just has a case of vertigo. Either way, I don't think it has quite the effect he's going for.
Well, technically, actually, the trailer belongs to the company I work for. But the truck, that's 0 to 60 miles an hour in 10 seconds. That's all me, sweetheart.
Okay, then. Hello, John. Welcome to the stream. Exactly. Welcome, everybody. He looks me straight in the eyes, empathizing sweetheart, and I struggle to keep down the bile climbing up my throat. Uh-huh.
Oh, that's nice. It's very,
I try to think of a compliment, something that will, take the conversation somewhere else? Anywhere but there. Oh boy. I thought I would pop in and say hi before I hit the sack. Hey, Opal Dragon, good to see you, man. Thanks for coming in.
It's very red.
Nailed it.
Red on the outside, sure. But I promise you, that interior is pure white.
Why is he talking like that? He winks. If not for Marina, I would have driven off screaming into the night by now. I'm gonna have to take a shower once we get to the arches.
In fact,
He isn't stopping? Why isn't he stopping?
maybe you and your little friend want to see why they call it my...
Maybe you and your little friend want to see why they call it my... He slams his elbow against the soda machine. Nothing happens. Cursing under his breath, he does it again with more force. This time, a can tumbles down, the momentum sending it rolling out of the cache and across the asphalt.
pickup truck?
Oh my god. Oh, this is fucked up. How's this game going? Oh man. So this guy says maybe you and your little friend want to get inside and see why they call it my quote pickup truck. Oh god, cheesy as fuck.
Marina, are you almost done?
Listen to her voice. Listen to this voice, guys.
Pickup truck?
Marina, are you almost done?
Yeah, she's like, it has to be about done. Yeah, I think she's a little bit creeped out.
Almost!
You were right about the rest stops, Gramps. Why didn't I listen? Well, I think John Mira is right. I'm poop shy. I have never taken a shit in a gas station in my life. Well, yeah. This is I guess this is why you don't go to gas stations to poop. You might come across a guy like this, want you to get in his quote pickup truck. Oh man, why didn't I listen to you?
So how about it?
So how about it? Opal Dragon says, "Oh God, this is corny. Do girls actually fall for that?" Well, not these girls for sure, because these girls are kind of into each other. Opal, for one thing. But even if they weren't into each other, even if they were completely straight, I don't think they would go for this guy. No. Presented with the option to feign ignorance or bash his head against the wall, I chose feign ignorance, but only by a smidge. So she said she chose ignorance or to bash his head against the wall. Damn. Good. For Marina's sake.
Golly, mister. We really appreciate the offer, but we already have a set of wheels.
Listen to that sarcasm. Golly, mister, we really appreciate that offer to get in your pickup truck, but we already have our own set of wheels. Please let that work. She's praying to God now. Please, 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 please let that work. Oh my god. God, that's so crazy.
I understand.
The trucker sighs and wipes the sweat from his brow.
Besides, I'm pretty busy as is. After I finish this run, I'ma find myself some treasure.
I'm pretty busy. Now he acts like he's too busy for them anyway. Opal says my faith in women has been restored. Oh no.
Treasure?
Yeah, you know, that gold that miner left lying around. It's all over the radio.
I may have heard a thing or two about it.
Great, another weirdo looking for treasure. Just what we needed.
It's on my route, so I figured why not.
Marina prances out of the restroom, restored to her old self.
All done. You two have a nice chat?
You two have a nice chat. I look at Marina, then the trucker, and then I look at his truck. Yet another despicable idea wiggles into my head. One that goes beyond picking on Mariah or leaving the tour. Damn.
You know, we had a really nice talk.
We had a really nice talk.
Really?
He's like, really? Oh my god. He says it like he even has trouble believing in himself.
Sure did. In fact, I have to go check on something in the RV real quick. Why don't you take up where I left off and talk with good old... What's your name?
The boys on the road call me Jumbo.
The boys on the road call me Jumbo. Just the way he's talking is, like, sickening, right?
Jumbo? Like the elephant? Oh, God.
Oh my god, this is making me laugh. Oh, wow. To Marina's terror, he bears his greasy smile. She backs away and half shields herself behind me, her voice softening to a whimper.
Camper? I don't think I want to talk to this guy.
man. I block my lips with my hand, lowering my voice to a whisper.
I know, but just try to keep him distracted. I won't be long. I'll be right back, you two!
Playing up with the act, I skip across the lot and back to the motorhome.
Wait! Amber!
This poor girl. I fight back the invisible tears. Your sacrifice is for the greater good, Marina. It won't be in vain. Oh my god, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna do? They can him, they call him Jumbo because his dong is Noah's shrimp. Yeah. Oh my god, this is funny. I just wonder what she's gonna do. I wonder what she's gonna do. I swing open the RV's door and rush to the nearest drawer, rummaging through it until I find what I need. Screwdriver, perfect. Exiting the motorhome, I sneak over to the big rig, tiptoeing so I'm not spotted. Is she gonna flatten his tire? I'm thinking she's gonna flatten his tire or something. The driver's side provides sufficient cover, hiding me from the trucker and from Marina. I bend down and take a knee to the on the gravely concrete, and with a screwdriver in hand, I unscrew the tire's valve stem. Once it's off, I take the screwdriver and insert it into the hole. The air seeps out with a steady hiss at the tire, and the tire withers. Yep, she's deflating his tires. I'm an evil dragon. Just remember that. Jumbo and Marina's conversation carries across the lot. Even from here, I can almost feel the spit spray from his mouth as he tries chatting up Marina, with the exact same tactics he just tried using on me.
There is one kink that their truck has, though.
There is one kink the truck has. He pauses, and I cringe, bracing for the incoming punchline.
It has a lot of thrust to it when I use the brakes.
The truck has a lot of thrust to it when I use the brakes. Oh my god. There you go, Opal. How do you like that, man? Now he's coming on to her with lines about how the truck has a lot in common with him because it has a lot of thrust to it when I use the brakes. Marina manages to squeeze out a stifled laugh, though it sounds more like an uncontrollable sobbing. Jumbo does the same, unleashing his crusty laugh upon the earth, and it sounds like he might hack up an ashtray. Keep the screaming inside, Amber. Resist the urge to repeatedly run him over with the motorhome. I scurry from tire to tire, deflating them until my mission has been accomplished. Aha, nice job. She flattened all his tires. That's funny. Sticking the loose caps in my back pocket, I emerge from the shadows and run back to Marina. Just in time, too.
Marina's a pretty name. It sounds like it could bring flowing water and moisture to anywhere. Even a barren wasteland like this.
Oh, God.
You know, I have a similar talent.
Alrighty, I'm back. Time to go, Marina.
You know, I have a similar talent. Oh, my God. Well, at least she is letting the air out. Hole punching would be over the top. That's true. Yeah, punching holes. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We get more and more people coming in here. Welcome to what I assume is getting pretty close to the end of this visual novel. I gotta say, this last 20 minutes, 30 minutes, or whatever has been more entertaining than the whole freaking visual novel up to this point. I've laughed out loud several times already. So the last half hour has been getting pretty interesting anyway. I grab her shoulders and push her away from the trucker. My sole focus now is just getting us out of here.
But we was having so much fun.
A cold chill shoots up my spine, causing the hairs on the back of my neck to stick up. We walk faster.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jumbo, but we're in a bit of a rush, too. We appreciate the conversation, though. Ain't that right, Marina?
She swings her head back and forth, mouthing no over and over again. No, no, no.
Well, maybe we'll meet down the road sometime.
I'm just glad you're playing and not me, Opal says. Thanks for the like, man. It's funny.
Then we could have even more fun.
Oh my god, shut up, dude. For God's sake, shut up to this trucker. He starts laughing again. Our feet move even faster than before. His laughter echoes across the lot, bouncing off the nearby hills, growing louder until it becomes all that I can hear. Sarah says, sad thing is that there are a few creeps like that, like him. Yep, there are.
Run. Don't look back. Just run.
I'm trying, Amber!
I push her harder. Our feet finally pick up enough momentum, and we scramble from the motorhome. We scramble for the motorhome, the cackling now sounding closer than ever. Marina reaches the RV first and leaps inside, immediately twisting to lock her door. I jump in next without bothering to clip my seatbelt or even check the rear. The engine roars to life, and I slam on the gas pedal, leaving a plume of exhaust behind us as we stretch out onto the road. When I'm sure we're safe, I let out the biggest sigh in my life. Gravity is lighter, the air conditioning is fresher, life is a gift. A hard force repeatedly hits my shoulder, scattering my zen-like appreciation of existence itself. John is like saying, I was hoping we would get attention. I'm no prize, but I tried not to be a egotistical creep like that. Yeah.
Stop leaving me with weirdos!
Stop leaving me with weirdos. Marina swings one last punch. This one hits the hardest.
Jerk!
Calls her a jerk.
Sheesh, that hurts.
Good.
I might deserve it. Just a little, though.
You think?
I rub my shoulder, trying to soothe the throbbing. He packs a surprisingly hard punch for such a tiny girl. Marina flings herself back into her seat and pouts.
Why did you even leave anyway?
He said he was after the treasure, so I decided to conduct some secret ops.
Grinning, I dig into my back pocket and pull off the caps. It takes a few seconds for Marina to register what I've done, but once she does, she joins me with a goofy grin of her own.
You're so sneaky, Amber.
I toss the caps out the window and take a sip of my coffee. It's cold now, but drinking it has never felt more satisfying.
But, Amber,
Hmm?
can we never go to a rest stop again?
Funny, I guess Gramps was right after all about those rest stops, huh? Highway Blossoms. Next chapter, I guess. We ended up spending the night in a department store parking lot. Though there were plenty of rest stops, but those are off the table permanently. Like usual, I woke up pretty early and got us on the road again. Even after waking up briefly, Marina passed back out until we were already back in Moab. Moab's the quintessential outdoorsy town. It's built alongside the Colorado River, winding through a canyon. Every other store sells rafting supplies or hiking gear or camping equipment. Even some of the houses are made to look like big log cabins and other rustic architecture. You can see tall forested mountains from any part of town, but it's not entirely out of the desert either. It's a morning where most people are on their way to work. There is a disgustingly large amount of traffic. I like Amber, or more honest, I like Amber's thinking. Yeah, I can understand that. At a glance, I'd say 3/4 of the people contributing to our glacial pace are prospectors, which means I don't have any room to complain. After watching the next light change 3 times, but still not reaching it myself, I sigh and pull into a nearby diner. At first, I was planning to grab some coffee and a bagel, but something for when Marina wakes up. But with her trademark perfect timing, I hear her climb out of bed right as I turn off the RV.
We there? Is this Arches?
She stumbles up to the front, still looking mostly asleep. I don't know how she can be so tired. She must have gotten 10 hours.
Close. We're in Moab. Arches is still a few miles up the road.
Oh, why'd we stop?
'Cause I'm hungry, and traffic's practically stalled. It could be lunchtime before we get there.
You were just gonna eat without me?
Even though through her grogginess, she sounds shocked and offended.
I was gonna grab you something to go, but I will eat without you if you don't get ready fast.
Ah,
Meanie.
Yeah, complain about me once you're dressed.
I can see the start of a smile as she turns back to get ready. I inspect my nails while I wait. A few minutes later, she hops up front like an Easter bunny, chipper as ever.
It's like your energy is stored in your outfit or something. You get dressed and wake right up.
Huh. Marina puts on airs.
I don't know what you mean. I'm always cheerful and alert.
Uh-huh. Did you know that you snore?
Her pretense is dropped in a flash.
Do not!
You do.
I lead the way out of the RV.
Loud. Like an elephant seal.
Marina blusters about for a retort while I wait by the door, laughing. She makes a humph noise as she passes by me, crossing the parking lot. Still, she holds the door for me as we go into the diner. There's a seat yourself sign up near the front, along with a stack of menus. I grab 2 off the top.
Do you need a kid's menu? With the crayons?
Oh man, that's messed up. Asking her if she needs a kid's menu. I'm just teasing her more, but her face lights up.
Oh, they have those? Yeah, give me one.
Oh my god, and she accepts one. She's like, give me a coloring. Mentally face-palming, I also take a coloring sheet and a cup of crayons. Look at her face. We find a booth by the window near the middle of the restaurant between a family of 4 and a couple around our age. It might be the only empty spot in the whole place. While I look over at the breakfast specials, Marina eagerly begins to color. She's got a dark green, 2 shades of red, a blue, and a yellow crayon. Of course, they're worn down to being practically round on the bottoms, which makes it hard for her to stay inside the lines. When I shift my legs, I accidentally bump the table with my foot and cause her to make a large green streak across her personified egg she was coloring.
Oops, sorry.
It's okay. What is it they say? There are no mistakes in art, just happy accidents?
That's what Bob Ross says all the time. There's no mistakes, just happy accidents. I know that's what Bob says, because Bob Ross says, I watch Bob Ross, guys. I put on Bob Ross on Twitch when I need to get some sleep, because that dude, I put him on my phone, and that dude always puts me to sleep. I don't know why. Everyone snores. Oh, that would sting. I approve. Double sting. And that just went sad. Oh,
Something like that. Why green?
Do you not see what I'm coloring here? Sam I Amber?
Green eggs and ham. I groan aloud her awful joke. I'm saved from more of them by the arrival of the same waitress who greeted us. Her white uniform is stained with jelly and ketchup, and who knows what else.
Can I get you girls something to drink?
I'll have some chocolate milk, please.
Her already questionable maturity suffers another blow. With the crayons in her hand, I'm not sure it can stand too many more hits.
And for you?
Just coffee. No cream or sugar.
You got it.
Once she walks away, I nudge Marina with my foot.
Chocolate milk? Seriously? Are you 8?
It's funny. Mimicking my voice, Marina shakes her shoulders.
Black coffee? Seriously? Are you 40?
That was good. I gotta give Marina credit on that one. That one was funny. Oh, they already told each other their ages yesterday, guys. And Marina here is 18, and I was kind of surprised that she wasn't older. I figured she'd be like 25 or something, but Amber here is 19, so they're 18 and 19 years old. Let's listen to that again, guys. Listen to her voice.
Black coffee? Seriously? Are you 40?
That's pretty funny. She went full Bob Ross. Never go full Bob Ross.
Hey now, I like the taste of coffee itself.
And I like the taste of milk itself, just with chocolate.
That's funny. Oh god.
You're a dork.
But you love me.
Uh-oh. She's not gonna be able to deny it, is she? She chimes back in a sing-song voice. I know what she means, but it still causes a small lump to form in my throat. I swallow, trying to pretend that she didn't hit a little too close to home. I watch her while she goes back to coloring human breakfast hybrids. Her lips are pursed in concentration, and there's a little gleam of white as she bites the edge of one. Seems she's really focused. Surprisingly, she mostly manages to stay inside the lines of the pictures. Rather than trying to use the dull tip, she switched to the flat, round ends using the edge for more precision. It's kinda working. Without looking up, she starts to chat again.
So, where do we start looking today, Captain?
Oh, you finally acknowledge me as captain then, huh?
I figured you deserve a turn. Just this once.
Thanks. I'll try not to let you down. Anyway, I have no idea.
You said you think it's by one of the arches, right?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't really narrow it down.
Pausing her coloring, she looks up at me.
It doesn't?
Nah. Have you ever seen any pictures of the park?
A couple, I guess. I don't know much about it, though.
Well, they named the park after the arches since there were so many of them. Probably hundreds.
Seriously?
Yeah, some are more famous than others. Let's see. There's Windstone Arch and Double Arch. Those are some of the more famous ones. You've probably seen pictures of those, even if you don't know it. But there are a ton of lesser-known ones too, and for all we know, the treasure could be at one of them that doesn't even have a name.
So we're screwed.
Probably. But that doesn't mean we're giving up.
Marina nods in satisfaction either at my words or the slice of blue ham she's finished coloring. Blue ham, huh?
I don't want to lose twice in a row, so I figure we'll go and look around and see if there are any clues. Maybe watch what other people are doing and thinking.
Marina nods along, but she has a zoned-out look that tells me she's not really listening. Rather, she seems to be staring right past me. I turn, trying to figure out what might be attracting her attention. There's nothing except for other groups eating. I make awkward eye contact with the old lady right beside us. I quickly face forward.
Hello? Inspecting the walls?
My words seem to break the spell.
Huh?
You totally spaced out there.
Oops, yeah. Sorry, I just started thinking.
Before I could ask her what about, our waitress returns. Our drinks are balanced on a tray alongside a few other guests. Marina's chocolate milk comes in an enormous tin cup that's the size of my forearm, and there's an entire pot of coffee for me. She sets them down on the table between us.
You girls ready to order?
Whoops, I haven't even looked through the menu once. I flipped through it real quick, settling on the standard meal.
You good?
Marina nods.
I'll have the gentleman's breakfast with bacon, eggs over medium, and sourdough toast.
And for you?
I'll have the chocolate chip pancake platter with scrambled eggs.
You want the kids' meal or the regular?
I choke on my drink as I laugh. I feel Marina's foot crash against my leg. Whimpering at that, and the dribble of coffee on my chin, I massage my shin underneath the table. Marina frowns at me, and the waitress gives me a strange look. Then the typical angelic expression returns as Marina places her order.
The regular, please and thanks.
We'll have that out for you pretty soon.
Once again, she heads back to the kitchen, heels clicking against the tile floor. When she's out of sight, Marina begins a flurry of kicks to my shins. Though these ones aren't hard enough to hurt. Scurrying backwards in my seat, I draw my legs up closer to me.
Rude! Rude, rude, rude!
Come on. You were asking for it with the food and the milk. The waitress asking that was just the icing on the cake.
I agree, that was
the
pretty funny.
pancake.
Chocolate chips, chocolate milk, and then she asked for chocolate chip pancakes with scrambled eggs. Sounds like a kid, yeah. Alright.
It's not my fault you sophisticated adults don't appreciate chocolate like I do.
You have a bigger sweet tooth than anyone I've ever met. Seriously, how many cavities have you had?
None. I brush my teeth twice a day, every day. The last time I went to the dentist, he said my teeth were so shiny he could see his reflection in them.
And when was that?
He thinks about it for a minute.
Maybe 3 years?
That doesn't count anymore then.
When was the last time you had chocolate milk?
I have to think about that. I don't drink a lot of milk to begin with, and as for chocolate?
Maybe when I was a little kid? I don't know.
Amber, you poor, poor thing.
She slides her giant cup towards me, some sloshing over the sides in her haste.
Try it.
Try it. She's like, try the chocolate milk. I kind of like this. I'm drinking chocolate to what B word? Oh, Marina, that was nasty. Are you 40? Exactly, that was good, Opal Dragon says. Alright, Sarah, I believe, is headed off, guys. And I think my son needs to go to bed, too. Hang on, guys. Yeah, you gotta go to bed, bub. Alright. So she's trying to get her to try this chocolate milk. Alright. Is she gonna do it? What's she gonna think of chocolate milk? Dredges of milk surround the rim of the from the cup where Marina's been sipping. Across from me, she waits, looking eager. I'm surprised she's not bouncing like normal. After sighing exaggeratedly, I pick up the cup and down a large gulp, trying not to think silly, cliched thoughts about indirect kisses. To my surprise, the drink is really good. It's got a deeper, richer flavor than the stuff you get in the jugs at the store, and I can tell they made it themselves in the kitchen. It's not overwhelmingly sweet. In fact, it's perfect. Damn, I don't know if I'm disappointed or not. Giving her the satisfaction of being right. My pride aches. As I push the cup back towards Marina, she receives it with a sly smirk.
So?
She draws out the word, already knowing my answer. She already knows that she likes it. That's funny.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. That's all I'm willing to concede. She laughs and takes another huge sip. After setting the cup down, she has a thick milk mustache on her upper lip. I watch with inappropriate fascination as her tongue comes out and cleans it away. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah. Watch it in fascination as she licks the chocolate milk from her upper lip. Uh-huh. Inappropriate. Fascination, huh? What do you think that means, guys? Inappropriate fascination. Marina grabs the sheet she was coloring and then pushes it over to me as well.
Wanna color something? While you're acting like a kid and all.
Wow. I roll my eyes but snatch away the crayons that she offers. Most of the pictures, all of them breakfast foods with faces and dated outfits, have already been colored in. There's a stylish looking piece of bread with a dress and a wig that's still blank though. I color the dress with a green crayon as lightly as I can, and use the lighter shade of red for the hair. And when I'm done, I hold up the page to show Marina.
It's you.
You. She leans in. Well, green and kind of reddish hair, yeah?
Huh?
Huh.
The colors. Look, you're toast.
She collapses backwards as if my pun physically wounded her. She shakes her head and looks down while I crack up.
That was even worse than Sam I Amber.
Sam I Amber.
Uh-huh. You better step up your game some.
Oh my god, you better step up your game some. This is too funny, guys. Oh, I'm off for the sack. Keep up the good fight and don't go getting tempted by Jumbo award-winning pickup lines. I know, right, Opal? Does that mean she... Yeah, something like that, John.
Please, stop.
I don't plan to. The only thing that saves her is the arrival of our waitress right then. That's pretty fast service considering how busy this place is. Good night, Christian. Keeping in style with their oversized beverages, the portions are enormous. The plate that Marina's pancakes are served on is so large it looks like it could have been used as a shield back in the medieval times. And the pancakes form a tower that's probably half a foot tall. Oh my god. I'm wondering if she should have ordered the kids' meal. You know, that's crazy. My own meal arrives on 4 separate plates, though they're all smaller than Marina's. We have to scramble and move our drinks around just to make room for everything. There's hardly any empty space.
Can I get you girls anything else?
Marina shakes her head, but I look down at the table and mumble.
Can I get a glass of chocolate milk, please?
As the waitress departs yet again, I glance over, prepared for the inevitable teasing. But instead, Marina just stares at her food, dumbstruck.
Maybe I should have gotten the kid's size.
Yeah, I was just saying that. That's funny. I finish about half of my meal before the dismay sets in. There's no way I can possibly finish this. Most people I know couldn't eat this much food in one sitting. Every bite is a struggle. Marina's faring similarly. Her plate of eggs is nearly untouched, just because there's so much pancake to work through. And I can tell that pancake fatigue, that feeling where you get halfway through them and then realize you're sick of pancakes, has long set in for her. Look at that look at her face. She cuts off a bite, looks at it for a while, and then sets her fork down.
I think I'm done.
Yeah, you and me both.
The largest plate I have consists of a mess of potatoes, cheese, and bacon with the eggs laid over it. And then, of course, there was the toast, fruit, and sausage. Each got their own smaller plate. And I'd have ordered from the kids' menu too if I known how this was going to be.
I don't think I'll ever want pancakes again.
For once, I don't have any snarky remarks. Anyone would be sick of them after what she just went through.
We'll get some boxes to go. At least we'll have food for a week now if we ever get stranded.
After our waitress brings us our bill and our styrofoam containers, we head back out to the RV. It looks like traffic hasn't gotten much better in the 45 minutes that we've been out of it. Cars are still pressed bumper to bumper. The sidewalks are still full, with swarms of pedestrians making better time than the traffic. I wonder if it's always this busy or if people are just deciding not to drive. Once we're ready to go, I take us over to the edge of the parking lot. As expected, the constant stream of cars makes it impossible for us to get out. I watch impatiently as an opening in traffic, but I can't see one for miles. Right?
Oh, come on!
Uh-oh, I press my forehead to the steering wheel. We've been sitting here for minutes now.
Is there another exit we could use? Onto a different street?
I look and check the mirrors, but don't see anything. The edges of the diner's property are surrounded by a cream-colored fence.
Nope.
Marina begins to sigh, but that quickly turns into a sound of surprise.
Amber, look!
She points past my face and out the window. An older lady in a little hatchback sedan has stopped to let us out. Aw. The two of us wave at her as we finally lumber out onto the road itself. How nice of her, right? Don't you love it when somebody does that when you're driving? When they actually stop when no one else will? You're like, hey, thank you so much.
Yay! I'm glad somebody was nice at least.
Yeah, still a long way to go, though.
The long line of cars extends as far as I can see, before it finally goes out of sight around a bend in the road.
Why do you think it's so much busier here than the other places we've been?
Arches is one of the most popular national parks. Like, when you think of parks in the US, you think of Arches and the Grand Canyon and Yosemite, that kind of thing. So I think a lot of people will be at those big spots.
Think it'll be like Shiprock again?
What, with the megaphone and law enforcement?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Probably not. These parks are a lot bigger and more spread out. Way harder to have people watching. The only option would to be straight up close.
And then you have horrible people who sneak in and out of bounds anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Who would ever do that?
Yeah, you would, Amber.
Nobody we know, that's for sure.
Right.
It's okay. Once we're filthy rich, we can make a donation to the canyon or something.
Let's just buy the canyon and pay to have everything reconstructed.
Perfect.
It takes a while, but finally make it past all the stoplights. After that, it's still slow going, but at least it's steady. Maybe 15 minutes pass crawling through the town before things start to pick up. Still, a couple of miles away, I finally see the exit for the park itself. Some people continue past, staying on the highway, but most are in line for Arches. At least there's a whole lane for people like us. Traffic is congested like my nose in the wintertime, but the end is in sight.
May as well get comfy. We're gonna be here a while.
Uh-oh. Taking my advice, Marina leans back and props her feet on the dash. Her dress bunches up by her knees, leaving most of her legs exposed. Uh-oh. I sneak a few guilty glances from the corner of my eye. If I didn't know better, I'd think all that skin she shows was intentional. But it is Marina, which means she's not even conscious about this kind of stuff. No, I haven't, Lauren. Or me for that matter. I wonder if she knows that I'm into her. To distract myself, I grabbed the box of tapes. I kept the music off earlier so that Marina could sleep.
Wanna pick this time?
Sure.
Setting in her lap, she begins to rummage through the bin. I'm pretty sure that she knows all the music I have by now. We've listened to every tape at least once, and I have an okay feel for what she likes and what she doesn't. Sometimes she taps her fingers to the beat or hums along when she likes what we're listening to. If she doesn't, she flat out ignores it. The one she settles on is an album of instrumental folk songs, very stereotypical Western sounding. It's a little high energy for just sitting still in traffic, but that's alright, it's better than nothing. We just listen to the music, which I've cranked up loud, and while we wait, the album is nearly half over by the time we make it through the park gates. Beyond them, traffic mercifully lets up some. Not because there are fewer cars, there are more cars than rocks to be seen. But a lot of those are pulled off on the shoulder or cramped into the parking lots. Nearly every inch of pavement that doesn't have a car on it has a person instead. Also, there are different trails and forks in the road, so not everyone is going in the same direction now. Being able to drive without having to tap the brakes every couple of seconds is a relief. A pickup truck towing a trailer pulls off the shoulder ahead and backs onto the road, so I take his spot. Putting it in park, I take a swig of stone cold coffee.
Want to grab the pamphlets?
We snagged a couple of brochures back at the diner. They don't have a whole lot of information, but they're a starting point. Marina retrieves them and spreads them out on the table like a puzzle piece. Alongside them is a journal. Is the journal. Its spine has lost its strength and the pages just flop out.
So, the journal says that it's buried between two things.
Right, but something out of the way.
Seems like it's 3 a.m., Lauren. Yeah, if you need to go to bed, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Peering up the windshield and into the expanses beyond, there's a lot that could be considered out of the way.
It'd have to be something memorable, or else he'd come back and have no idea where to go.
And anything memorable is probably gonna be something popular, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Exactly, yeah.
You flip through some of the pamphlets. They all have the same information on the same landmarks, just a slightly different pictures.
Wait.
He was about to toss one of them, but it catches my eye.
Hand me that.
Marina passes over the brochure, and I turn to one of the inner pages. It has only one picture, and a longer paragraph of text. I read aloud.
One of the most famous landmarks in all of the park, Double Arch is a fan favorite. Recognizable for its two elegant curves. Double Arch can be accessed via a short hike and is open to exploration.
There you go. I hold open the flyer, and so she can see the picture. It's of two huge arches of stone connected at one side, but otherwise perpendicular from each other. She snatches it out of my hands for a closer look, nearly cutting my fingers.
Oh my god, you think it's between the two of these?
That makes sense, right? You definitely remember how it looks, and it's kind of out of the way.
The papers whiz past my face as Marina hurls them backwards and points forward.
Choo-choo, full steam ahead!
Alright. I throw the RV back into drive and pull out onto the road again. There are signs everywhere for Double Arch, so we don't need the map that we got at the gate. We pass signs for the other landmarks too, some with pretty weird names. There's a parade of elephants, one for one thing, which is in the same direction as Hamrock. There's even a phallic-sounding rock simply called the Organ. All of those are down exits we don't take. Instead, we soon end up back in yet another traffic jam. Marina stares out the window as we creep along. Where we are right now is nearly indistinguishable from the highways we've spent so much time on already. Yeah, but we're way too close to the end, and anyway, I'm probably going to fall asleep with your voice in the background. Yeah, I've had people tell me they fall asleep to my voice before, man. Wouldn't be the first. There are a few actual arches around, but none distinct enough to get any real attention. Inch by inch, we advance down the road until we finally come to the parking lot for the Double Arch. The only problem is, it's totally full. Uh-oh. Not just busy, but packed. Every parking lot is taken, with just a few cars jammed into empty space that's clearly not meant for that. Like lice, people swarm up and down the arch itself, visible even from the road. At least this time, it isn't off limits.
Looks like everyone else had the same idea.
Think so?
Don't sound so glum. We can still go take a look.
If we can ever find somewhere to park.
Yeah, that is a pretty big if.
The entire caravan passes by the parking lot. There's at least a dozen cars behind me as well. Maybe a half a mile up the road, we come across another lot.
Up for a bit of walking?
Yeah!
I quickly take one of the remaining spaces. There are a few openings here. Looks like most of the people weren't as willing to walk as Marina is. Some of the cars behind us pull in too. We opt to leave the medical detector and other equipment in the RV for now. If we see anything that looks promising, we could come back and grab it. We walk back up to the Double Arch. The walk back up to Double Arch doesn't take long, and it's nice to be outdoors again. We have to stick to the very edge of the road to avoid the stream of cars flowing towards us. It seems there was more than a dozen behind us after all. There's a short hike from the double arch parking lot to the arch itself. It's an easy one, and we don't even break a sweat. Up close, it's obvious that there aren't many people here just to see the sights. Almost everyone is carrying a shovel or some other tool. Uh-oh. Everybody's got the same idea. Everybody's going to be out there with metal detectors trying to find this stupid treasure. So, if these gals end up getting a second treasure, I'm going to be kind of a little ridiculous, I think. Well, you know, I've already fell asleep on your streams before. It wasn't the first time. True. And I don't know how many visual novels you've listened to me read, Lauren, but it seems like it's been a while since I've done a visual novel. Oops. There's a pair of park rangers watching, but they don't seem to be intervening at all. They just slouch against the wooden fence, looking defeated.
Can you imagine how big of celebrities we'd be if anyone here knew we found the shipwrecked treasure?
I whisper as quietly as I can to Marina.
Right? I was thinking about that earlier. I kind of wanted to show off, but that's probably not a good idea.
Like anyone would believe us anyway. But you don't want to have your face all over the New York Times as one of the girls who found the treasure?
Being in the local newspaper is on my bucket list.
Dream big, Marina.
And my friends from school would totally have a heart attack when they found out. But don't they always say to keep it a secret if you win the lottery?
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, people will never leave you alone. You'll get all sorts of messages from people you used to know or long-lost relatives.
Yeah.
I have enough not-lost relatives to deal with. Plus, I don't want to get kidnapped and held for ransom or something like that. What about you?
No way. I'm just gonna quietly retreat into one of my 3 mansions when all this is over.
One of my 3 mansions.
Oh, you're only gonna buy 3?
Yeah, gotta save the rest for my 14 new motorhomes after all.
He giggles.
Do I get to drive one of them?
Why not? But you could buy your own, you know.
No way! I'll just come bother you if I need one.
We've gotten as close to the arches as we can. The mob of sweaty people is too thick for us to push our way through. There are dozens of people sweeping over the dusty ground with metal detectors. Oh boy. Usually when you don't hear me for about 20 minutes, it probably means I'm sleeping like a baby. Yeah, that makes sense, Lauren. That's funny. Too bad you can't hear you snoring. Hanging back around the edge, Marina's smile fades away quickly.
Yeah, this is a bit of a mess.
Everybody's out there with metal detectors, huh? Scanning the ground, but right where they're trying to look for the treasure. People jostle and push each other out of the way. It's hard to believe anyone is actually prospecting so much as they are just trying to not lose their own spot.
Maybe we should come back later?
I don't know if it'll be any better later, but maybe.
I guess. Though if the treasure is here, I feel like someone would have found it by now.
Just like back at Canyon de Chile.
You know, this must have been going on for a few days now.
Yeah.
All the enthusiasm she had just a minute ago when we were joking has evaporated in the desert sun. A rock skips past my foot as she kicks at the dirt. I poke her and she yelps in surprise.
Hey now, I'm not saying we give up. I'm just saying we regroup and strategize. We can go see the rest of the park in the meantime. Didn't you say you've wanted to see this place for a while?
Yeah, I guess.
It's obvious that she's still bummed, but there's nothing I can do about that. Once we're back in the motorhome, we leave the busy mountain road ASAP and spend a while seeing the sights from our air-conditioned comfort. Marina's mood improves steadily throughout the day. counteracted only by our growing hunger. As we pull back into Moab, we are both ravenous.
Wanna just heat up our leftovers? Guessing that's a no.
I'm not ready for pancakes again yet. I need a day or maybe a week.
Let me know if you see somewhere you want me to stop.
Now that it's approaching evening, there aren't any more massive traffic jams going through Moab. We can cruise through it at a steady pace, just like when we first got into Arches. Until I slam on the brakes.
You're kidding me.
Oh boy. Marina had been slouching but bolts upright at the sudden stop.
What happened?
Just a few feet ahead in the parking lot of the diner we ate at this morning is Mariah's motorhome. Again? They run into Mariah again? Lawrence says usually around 3 to 4 novels that I've watched, including this one. Gotcha. Yeah, you've been around a while, man.
Look at that. It's them.
I point and Marina leans forward. When she recognizes their RV, she grins.
Shall we go see them?
What? No way! That's extra reason to avoid that place.
But Amber, maybe we could see about teaming up for the treasure here or something.
That'd never happen. Mariah would rather lose every time than have our help. Besides, it's not like...
Please?
Already giving up in my head, I give Marina one desperate last look.
Seriously?
Yeah, even if we don't team up, it'd be nice to see them again.
Not sure if nice is the word I'd use.
Funny. Despite my muttering, I flick on my blinker and change lanes, pulling into the parking lot yet again. Why do we have to go see these guys again? Oh my god. Like this morning, it seems pretty busy. I have to park next to Mariah's RV because it's the only open spot large enough. Marina skips out and towards the entrance while I trudge behind her. It doesn't take long to find the trio, even amongst all the eccentric people that the hunt has drawn. Their questionable fashion stands out. They have the largest table near the back, bigger than the one Marina and I ate at this morning. Joseph and Tess share a bench while Mariah is spread across the opposite side. It's probably supposed to look sultry, but it comes across more like the bench is devouring her. When she sees them, Marina scurries to the back, hand raised in greeting. I bring up the rear, still slow.
Hey guys!
Oh boy. Tess and Joseph are waved back, the latter smiling when he sees us. Mariah looks surprised for a second, then she scowls and turns towards the wall. The feeling is mutual.
Hey, imagine running into you two here. Just get into town?
Nope, we've been here all day. We actually ate breakfast at this place this morning.
Yeah, you're always a couple steps behind us, I guess.
Mariah's glare is stonier than Double Arch itself, but of course she keeps looking at the wall instead of us. Joseph laughs, though.
Here, let's break bread.
He and Tess scoot down the booth, making some room, which Marina promptly fills. I'm left next to the smoldering fury that is Mariah. She moves her leg just a little, but enough for me to sit down.
Thanks. Sorry to barge in on you guys like this.
It's no problem. More the merrier.
I hope you don't expect us to cover your bill.
Groaning, Joe puts his hand over Tess's ears.
Could you at least try not to be a pain in the ass between the hours of 5 p.m. and 6 in the morning? It would make my life a lot easier.
He uncovers Tess's ears and gives us a blank look.
She's right, though. There's no way we can afford that.
We had to dine and dash for breakfast.
So what about you? How long have you been here?
We got in around lunchtime. Spent forever and a half stuck in traffic, though.
Well, He sounds worn out. I wonder if Mariah ever lets him drive, or makes him drive.
Us too. We were gonna look around Double Arch, but it was too busy.
Yeah, we took one look at it and just kept driving. Didn't even want to try it.
Sis said anyone who bothered to get out was a
You weren't supposed to hear that!
Huh.
I told you, this girl hears everything. Anyway,
He was about to say
we were
the
thinking
F word.
about heading back this evening. See if it maybe cleared out some.
We were gonna do that too. I was telling Amber that we should see if maybe you guys wanted to team up and we could look together.
Hell no!
They both like, hell no. The two of us look at each other. Seems all we ever agree on is to not sticking together.
No offense to you, Joe. Just didn't wanna, you know.
I trail off thinking of an excuse that isn't didn't want to deal with Mariah, which is the truth. How you doing, Dragoness? Good welcome, hun. But Joseph just laughs and waves it off.
Nah, I get what you mean. Don't think Mariah would be too fond of splitting the goods either.
Marina frowns, but perks back up after just a second. Soon, a waitress comes to take our order. Marina and I are careful to order meals on the smaller side, just sandwiches with fries. On the other hand, Mariah's order comes with a bunch of requirements as to what and what can't be on it. By the time she's made so many substitutions and extras, it hardly resembles the item she described, or the item described in the menu.
So, I can tell you ladies that it's not at the Parade of Elephants, and Delicate Arch was a no-go too. Think we might try Skyline next.
Good luck, I guess. I wonder how many of those the miner would have known about, though. Pretty sure this park wasn't founded till after the gold rush.
Joseph shrugs.
Amber knows a lot about these places. She's like an encyclopedia.
I can feel my face flush, like always when she praises me.
Not really. I just know bits and pieces.
Hey, Dragoness, this is Marina, the girl we picked up. This is Amber. This is Mariah, who these two don't like each other. We are Amber. The thoughts that we hear are Amber's thoughts. This is Mariah, this is Joseph, and this is Tess. Over here.
Still something to be proud of. Aren't too many girls your age who care about anything that happened more than 5 years ago.
It's really nothing special. I just spent a lot of time on the road when I was younger.
That's so.
I appreciate his leaving as an open-ended question rather than prying. Marina looks at me, eyes wide, probably to see if I'm about to cry or something. I try to be nonchalant.
Yeah, until I was in middle school. My grandpa used to drive me all over the country.
Sounds like a fun time.
It was. He,
Guess there's no point in hiding it. Plus, Joseph has a kind of disarming air to him, like he excludes calmness.
passed away a little while ago. Still a little.
I tap my throat, hoping that gets my point across. It does, and Joseph nods.
I'm sorry for your loss. I know how hard that can be.
Thanks.
Marina's eyes flick between me and Joseph. He must be pretty worried. So I force a smile, even though I can feel that growing gloomness that shows up anytime I talk about Gramps.
Meeting this dork has helped a lot, though.
I jerk my chin towards Marina, who looks shocked, as if I could have been talking about anyone else.
It's been a while moping around before that.
Family is good.
I blink. It's so easy to forget that she's there.
Yeah, definitely.
I hadn't really thought of it before, but Tess seems to be in a similar situation I was, growing up on the go and all. I'm curious how it happened, but I won't ask. It's not my place. A far-off look seeps onto Joe's face. He stares out the window, like he's gazing at something 100 yards away. Mariah glances up at him for a split second, if that. She even looks a little concerned. But then it's right back to business as usual. She leers over at me and shoves herself back into the conversation.
So what are you going to do?
Huh?
When all this is over?
He gestures around.
Dinner?
No, dumbass! I meant the treasure hunt!
Wow.
Forget it. I don't actually care.
Wow. Dragoness says I'm doing great, just woke up. Don't know why I woke up a bit earlier than normal. Might be because you wanted to watch Zax's stream. There you go, that might be it, Warren. Yep. Never know.
Don't know yet. Mare and I have been kind of talking about that.
She's gonna buy 3 mansions.
Oh no, don't say that, Marina. She's gonna buy 3 minutes. They were joking about that. I don't think they have that much money yet. We know they found treasure. We know they found a box of treasure at the Shiprock place, but we don't know, like, how much it's worth. It's just a box of gold and shit or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that. I'll have plenty of time to figure stuff out in my mansions.
3 of us chuckle, but then the conversation trails off. Tess and Marina are working on coloring Tessa's menu. From what I can see, it has different characters than the one this morning. They look like they make a good team. Each one of them work on separate pictures but switch from time to time. So Marina will color the hair on one character, then Tess colors the clothes. Despite not talking at all, they don't ever get in each other's way. Joseph also observes from above, smiling silently. He's usually the one to play with Tess, so it must be nice for her to have some company. On the other hand, like a jug of milk, Mariah's mood seems to be getting more and more sour. I don't even know what she's mad about this time. Maybe something happened before we showed up, or maybe it's just because we showed up. I don't know. Either way, she ought to memorize every single detail of the wall she's been staring at this entire time. She doesn't even look up until our food arrives a little bit later. It's a good thing we have a large table because there's still hardly any room left once all the plates are set out. My sandwich is so big it takes 2 hands to hold, and I have enough fries to sustain Ireland for the winter. Oh, I have enough fries to sustain Ireland for the winter. Dragoness says the magical powers of Zaxtorstream has awoken me. I didn't know he was live until after I woke up. Strange. Zaxter is more powerful than I expected. Lawrence, I agree. That's funny. When Marina picks up her sandwich, all of the ingredients pour out the back. She quickly gives up trying to reconstruct it and just uses a knife and a fork instead. Watching the other 3 eat is amusing too. Joseph chews with slow, measured bites, whereas Mariah attacks her meal like it owes her some money. Across from her, Tess is cutting up chicken tenders with surgical precision. Marina catches me staring and smiles at me silently. She's noticed too. Mariah is the first to finish eating. I'm just a couple of bites behind. That's embarrassing. She wipes her face with a napkin and then finally looks at me.
Where are you 2 staying?
It could be an innocent question, or it could be a trap.
Around. We'll find a parking lot somewhere.
You thieves are gonna have a late start then.
You thieves, huh?
I guess. Don't tell me you planned ahead and got a campsite.
Don't be stupid! Of course not! Like, that's not what I meant!
I scoff as she backtracks to keep her from insulting herself.
What I mean is, there's no way they're gonna bother checking every single permit. There's too much going on right now. Just pick a nice spot out of the way, don't make trouble, and it'll be fine.
Joe flatly stares at Mariah.
Easier said than done.
Good luck with that. I don't want to take the risk.
Yeah. I don't want to take the risk. On foot, if you're trespassing and get caught, most of the time you'll just get thrown out. But I don't want our license plate getting written down or something if we were to do what she suggests. Mariah shrugs.
Suit yourself. Don't say I didn't never try to help you.
Didn't ever.
You ever camp here before, Amber? Sounded like you know the place.
Long time ago. I don't remember a whole lot. Just good at remembering names, I guess.
Useful skill to have.
Yeah. Used to be before we'd go anywhere. Gramps and I would research the place we were going. History and stuff like that.
You sure learned a lot of useful stuff from him, huh?
Yep. Always wanted to make him proud. He used to say I was a real chip off the...
My words catch in my throat, not because I'm emotional, but just because I realized something. I remembered it, rather. Mariah and Joe know it too. Mine and Mariah's eyes lock, and she bolts up at my words. The other two look confused.
We're leaving!
Alright, so if you guys didn't catch that,
Yep. Always wanted to make him proud. He used to say I was a real chip off the...
real chip off the block. And so they catch it, block. My words catch in my throat, not because I'm emotional, but because I just realized something. I remembered it, rather. Mariah and Joe know it too. Mine and Mariah's eyes lock, and she bolts up at my words, and the other two look confused.
We're leaving!
And she gets on his back. Mariah sprints for the door without paying, and I nearly yank Marina's arm out of its socket as we run to the exit. Other diners turn to watch us, but I barely notice them. Oh my god. Alright, have a good night, Lauren.
Amber, what the heck?
Our voice is shaky for being jolted around.
I know where the treasure is.
I yell behind me as I turn to look. Then I see the trio exit the restaurant behind us. Joe's carrying Tess on his back.
I know where it is.
Yeah, but the problem is Mariah knows as well. We reach the motorhome seconds after Mariah and her crew reach theirs. I practically hurl Marina up and into her spot before I leap into my own. Not even bothering to buckle up, I hurry towards the road. Oh my god, look at this picture here. Less than a minute, and we're already falling behind. I watch Mariah's taillights as she speeds up on the road, horn blaring to scare away cars unfortunate enough to be in her lane. Uh-oh. I'm going as fast as I dare to, worried about cops that could be lurking around one of the bends in the road. I'm going to go to sleep after the stream. I need to see the end. Oh, Lauren's sticking around for the end. Okay. Yep. I can't let her out of my sights. There's no room to pass yet, but I have to watch for an opportunity. Yeah, this is like the most intense image we've seen this whole 6 hours of streaming, guys. Actually, more than 6 hours. We're like 6.5 hours into the stream now. With one hand, Marina clutches the headrest bar of her seat. Then she leans over and past my face, and nearly causing me to swerve from shock.
What are you...
She grabs my seatbelt and buckles me in, and then she does the same for herself. Hey, that was really nice of her to actually... This shows she cares about her. She grabs my seatbelt. She buckles Amber in first. How sweet. Yep, she's obviously carrying. She buckles Amber in first before she buckles herself in.
Okay, now that we're at least not gonna die if you hit something, can you tell me what exactly is happening?
She sounds a little frantic and a little curious.
Okay, so do you remember Balanced Rock?
It wasn't one of the places that we visited earlier today, but it's one of the spots that's on the posters and in lots of the ads.
I think so, or at least hearing about it.
There used to be another really famous rock right next to it. Smaller, but a similar shape and everything. They called it Chip Off the Old Block.
Yep, Chip Off the Old Block. That's why when she said she remembered her grandpa saying that she was a chip off the old block. So that's when her and Mariah both noticed. It's like, chip off the old block.
What do you mean, used to be?
I was getting to that. A long time ago, like 50 years or something, it fell. Now you can't even tell it apart from the rest of the rocks on the ground.
50 years. So that was...
Her eyes go wide in understanding, a fact which I look away from Mariah's rear to take in.
So it was still standing when the miner came through!
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. I'll bet you anything he hid the treasure between Balanced Rock and what used to be Chip.
I look over again to smile at her, only to see a genuine admiration and awe in her face. And her eyes are wide and her mouth is slightly open. Like always, I can't look at her for too long, or it starts to make me feel uncomfortable. Nothing I've said or done is that impressive. Even Mariah knew about Chip. But instead of singing my praises again, she just faces ahead with a little smile. Then her face crumbles up.
Amber!
I see it.
A semi has begun pulling out into the road ahead of us. There's no passing lane, so I can't get around him that way.
Damn it!
Uh-oh. I tap the brakes since I'll have to stop and wait for him to get on the highway. Ahead, I can still see Mariah, but just barely. A few of the cars between us have exited, but her lead has grown. And so I make a quick, reckless decision.
Hold on to something.
What are you?
Uh-oh. I don't wait for her to finish her questions, then she grabs onto her seat as she asks it. To answer, I yank the wheel to the left and into the other lane, even though it's a no-pass zone. Headlights far ahead are speeding towards us, maybe a quarter of a mile away. Oh man, she's getting risky. Getting closer. A concrete barrier prevents me from going any further to the left. I smash down the gas pedal to the floor, putting all my weight on it. Marina begins to moan with a dread at the oncoming car. It's a wordless sound, or maybe the start of mine. My heart is in my throat and I can feel beads of sweat on my forehead. One slides down into my eye, but I can't wipe it away. We're even with the semi now, who seems to be stopping. He's probably noticed me and is waiting for me to complete my illegal pass. The car ahead of us is close enough that I can see it in our headlight beams. It's a maroon SUV. They're braking as they approach. But I'm still accelerating, still going so fast that I couldn't stop in time even if I wanted to. Like a missile, we shoot forward, and I'm at least double the speed limit right now. We come even with the front of the semi, who's hardly rolling. So it sounds like she's going over 100 miles an hour. That's crazy. The SUV has come to a complete stop now, but there's barely any room between it and the semi now. And suddenly, we're past the cab of the truck. I wrench the wheel to the right, hard right, throwing us back onto our own lane. We zoom past the stopped SUV, who gives me a well-deserved horn blaring. The bassy sound of the semi's horn from us also booms behind us. But it doesn't matter because we're okay. We didn't die. Oh god, it risked their life to get ahead of that thing. A need to breathe hits me, and I realize that I've been holding it in. I sigh, adrenaline still coursing through me.
Oh my god! Amber!
Her voice cracks and she starts to laugh hysterically. I do too, laughing away the anxiety of the last half minute. It felt like much longer. And it's not entirely over yet.
Don't get too comfy.
Her hands shoot back to where she was hanging on.
Uh-oh.
Just ahead, Mariah still has a lead, but the lead is shrinking quickly. I wonder if she saw how I caught up. Jamming the gas pedal down again, I start to narrow the distance even more. She takes an exit for Arches just a few seconds ahead of me. We blaze through the entry point, flashing our passes at rangers who barely have time to check in. Even in the darkness, there are lots of people on the sides of the road. I wonder if anyone else has had the same realization we did about Chip. Mariah is starting to gain ground again, so I mash the accelerator further down. But her motorhome is newer than mine, and it's hard for me to keep up. If I'm going to beat her there, I'll have to do it soon. I check to make sure that Marina's still holding on tight. He is. Just a few feet behind Mariah's RV now, I illegally swing into the other lane yet again. I'm gonna try to pass her. This is more risky because of the way the road curves all over the canyon. An oncoming car could round a bend and completely blindside us. Hope that doesn't happen. Oh man. By pushing the RV into its absolute limits, I'm able to break even with Mariah. Looking over, I can see a wild flare in her eyes, hair disheveled. Her expression changes of one of shock when she notices us beside her. So Mariah sees them, she's shocked. Yeah, that looks pretty intense. I relish in the look of disbelief as I nudge the wheel to the right. There's a god-awful scraping as the motorhome brushes against Mariah's. Now their motorhomes are scraping against each other. Her eyes, as well as Marina's, widen. Seconds after we pull apart, Mariah's vehicle lurches towards us, and again there's a sound that makes me want to rip my ears off. I fight to keep control of the motorhome and stay on the road. Oh man. Awestruck bystanders watch as we pass by, but I hardly register them. Still neck and neck, we continue towards Balanced Rock. Through insane luck or divine intervention or something, the road ahead is clear. I won't try to shove them off the road again because they are now steep drop-offs that could be fatal. But I do have to do something to gain an edge. Just arriving seconds before her isn't enough. A sign visible for just a split second informs us that there are 5 miles to Balanced Rock. What might have been an arrow for an exit has been scuffed to illegibility. Maybe that's our chance. Up ahead, barely illuminated by a flickering lamp, the road splits into 2 directions. A sign in the middle is smashed and folded in on itself, probably the result of someone's reckless driving. Yeah. One of these paths leads to Balanced Rock, but I don't know which. I'm willing to bet Mariah doesn't know which either. From Marina's window, I can see Mariah shoot me one final death glare before they rocket off down the exit. We stay on the other branch, though I'm back in the proper lane now. Just gotta hope it's the right branch. As I start to calm down again, I realize my legs are shaking. Welcome back, Dragoness. Marina cranes around to watch Mariah's vehicle, which is quickly disappearing into the murk. Once it's fully out of sight, she turns back to me. Her face is as white as her knuckles. I bet.
You okay?
You okay? Guilt stabs me. I may have seriously traumatized her with this. With two incidents within minutes of each other. After taking a deep breath, she unclenches her fists.
Can we never, ever do that again? That was insane. Super insane. Like, oh my god. I thought I was gonna die.
Wow.
Wait. Did we die?
Did we die? That's funny. Are we dead?
Am I just imagining this now?
I don't think you could imagine stuff if you were dead, kid.
True.
That's the kind of thing a dead person would say.
That's the kind of thing a dead person would say.
Like in that one movie where it was all about that guy who could talk to dead people, except...
Fine. I'm 90% sure we're not dead then.
Okay. 90%. That's not bad. And being a ghost might be kind of cool too. You could spy on people without them ever knowing.
Oh my god.
I'll keep that in mind if there's ever someone I want to haunt.
Our voices are shaky, even though our conversation isn't serious. Keep checking the rearview mirror, expecting to see the headlights of Mariah's approaching vengeance. But so far, we're in the clear. Each passing minute that we don't see the rock itself, though, makes me worry that we took the wrong turn. Right on the verge of turning around and telling Mariah Another sign suddenly looms up ahead of us. We've reached Balance Rock. I slow down as we approach the parking area. While not empty, there are far fewer people here than there were at the Double Arch earlier today. A good number of them look like they might just be sightseers, since they're standing around talking or looking at the stars instead of searching. Parking is easy since there are a lot of open spaces. When I stand up, my legs wobble. I stumble, grabbing Marina's shoulder to support. She smiles at me, but doesn't say anything. No more jokes to crack. Time to get serious. We grab equipment and hurry out into the night air. Solid ground feels foreign after the rocketing motorhome. This must be what it feels like to return from a voyage at sea. Marina, the landlubber, doesn't seem to have any trouble now that we're not barreling along the highway. The spring in her step has returned, and I worry that she's going to bang the metal detector against the ground as she half walks, half skips. Some of the other people watch us go, but no one follows or says anything. They probably assume we're just next in the line of failures. A line which must be pretty long, given how much trash and misplaced earth there is around here. Pangs of guilt remind me yet again of the broken brick at Canyon di Celli, and I make my 18th resolution to be more careful. Just ahead, Marina's come to a stop. Head tilted back, I can tell she's admiring the balanced rock. It's certainly an impressive view. Someday, I'd like to take her back to all these places we've gone, but without the pressure of the treasure hunt rushing us just to take in the sights. I slow my steps a little so I can keep watching her from behind. Maybe sensing me, she spins around and waves.
Hurry up!
Yelling even though I'm close enough to hear her normal volume level. I pick up the pace once more.
So where was Chip?
Over there, to the right.
There's a large stone wall besides Balanced Rock itself, with a short slope between them.
It was right at the edge of that little hill.
So where that pile of rocks is now?
Yep, that's the spot.
You can't tell that there used to be anything there, but I've seen pictures of the atlases Gramps kept around, or in the history books that he liked to read. Compared to Balanced Rock, Chip off the old block looked tiny, but it was actually a decent size. There's a pile of stones at the base that are probably Chip's remains. They are distinguishable from the rest of the red rocks, though. Some are as big as my head, or even bigger. It's hard to tell if anyone has picked through here, but since there aren't any shovel marks or holes, I'm guessing not.
Where do we start?
I think for a moment.
First, let's get the easy stuff out of the way. You go check that side with the metal detector, and I'll check this one.
We sweep over the ground between the hill where Chip once stood and the massive stone wall beside it. Nothing.
Okay, that's pretty much what I expected.
I lean my metal detector against the wall and go back to the pile of rocks.
Just check over the places that I uncover, okay?
Marina nods, holding her detector at the ready. She reminds me of a surgeon about to perform an operation. I roll aside some of the rocks with my feet, but most are so big that I have to stoop down to use my hands. There are more of them than I thought, and soon I'm sweaty and sore.
Do you want any help?
Nah.
I'm panting.
Just keep scanning.
She does so, dutifully retracing my steps, but still nothing. After a couple of more minutes, I stand up and take a swig from my water bottle. I'm glad I remembered to bring them this time. Marina sets down her metal detector to do the same.
Do you think Tess and them are okay?
Why wouldn't they be?
Don't you think Mariah's gonna flip out when she realizes she took the wrong turn?
Probably.
Probably. That's her fault, though.
Not like you would have let her go down this side of the road.
True.
Hey, I did what I had to do.
Uh-huh. But you're never going to do that again, okay?
If we get the next treasure too, I won't have to.
When we get it, you meanie.
Right. When?
Only one more to go after this. One more frantic search, and then I drain my water bottle and crumple it before shoving it in my pocket.
Break's over. Back to work.
I pop my back and resume moving rocks out of the way. I've been working from the outer edge of the rock pile inward, since they're more concentrated in the center. Like a shadow, Marina continues to stick to me, going where I go. Nearly 10 minutes of uninterrupted shuffling pass. By now, I'm expecting Mariah to have caught up or to get here soon. But she never arrives. Maybe she just gave up. Although, knowing Mariah, that's just wishful thinking. I've just finished moving the torso-sized rock when it happens. The metal detector begins to chirp, bright and earnest. Uh-oh. They found it. Marina and I exchange a look and nod.
I'll get the shovel!
It's leaning up against the wall by a second metal detector. Marina grabs it, starts back towards me, and then doubles back to set her detector aside as well. I move to take the shovel from her, but she holds it away, shaking her head.
Uh-uh. You moved all the rocks.
Yeah, but I...
She frowns at me, and I can tell this is an argument I'm not gonna win.
Okay. Be careful, though. Don't...
I know what I'm doing.
And she stabs at the ground like she's wielding a salad fork. It bounces off with a jolt.
You need to go at it with more of an angle, like you're trying to slide it into the ground.
I move behind her and adjust her arms a little. Her shoulders are damp with sweat, though I'm being drenched with it. She tenses up when I first touch her, but relaxes almost immediately. It's enough to make me self-conscious, though, and I take a quick step back.
Sorry.
I'm mumbling.
Oh, no, you're fine. You just surprised me.
Her voice is higher than usual.
It's okay. You should have it now.
Alright, Dragoness, have a good night. Or good day. It's okay, you should have it now. Nodding, Marina stabs at the ground again. She scoops out a little bit of dirt and dumps it aside. Watching her dig is painful. Either the ground is hard or she's not strong enough to make it very fast progress. Whatever the reason, it's slow going, but she refuses my repeated offer to take over. So, with my hands on my hips, I watch as the hole very slowly gets deeper. He's reached a depth of maybe a foot or so when the shovel thumps against something that isn't dirt. Our eyes instantly meet. I stoop down and brush a little bit of the dirt away from the shovel blade. Sure enough, I can feel rough wood, just under my fingertips.
Is it?
Yeah,
Bingo.
it is.
They found it again. Now she forces a shovel towards me.
I don't want to mess it up.
Okay, look out.
She steps back a couple of feet, then leans forward to watch. I scrape at the dirt around the spot we hit, trying to find where the edges are. Once I reveal one corner, I start to dig off thin slices of dirt next to it. Soon, the outline of the whole box is visible. I hear Marina suck in my sharp breath. My heart is pounding with the same cautious excitement I felt way back at Shiprock. It hardly feels real, and yet, well, there's only a 10% chance that I'm dead, and it isn't that. I lift the box out of the ground with the blade of the shovel, and Marina plucks it off. It makes a familiar rattling sound as she moves it. Amber! But I hold up a dirty finger to my lips. Oops.
Not yet.
Looking back towards the parking lot, I can't tell if anyone has seen us. Seen us dig and find the treasure.
Don't say anything until we get back to the car.
She's quivering a leaf of excitement, so she manages to keep her mouth mostly shut for now. But not before hissing out an excited Amber. I just smile, hoping that I look calm. Marina cradles the box into the crook of her arm like an infant, doing her best to keep it hidden from onlookers as we head back to the motorhome. She carries a shovel in her free hand, and while I have both metal detectors, I don't even notice the soreness in my arms. Though it's not the first time, the excitement is sitting down in front of the sealed box of gold. Wait a minute, the excitement of sitting down in front of the sealed box of gold feels fresh and new. This one feels heavier than the last one, and it rattles less, like there's not as much empty space. Without being asked, Marina retrieves the screwdriver, hammer that I've been using to smash the locks. She sets them down in front of me, but I offer them to her.
Care to do the honors?
You sure?
She takes them.
Yeah, why not?
Her face lights up with a look of happiness that's worth more to me than the gold. Aww. If I'd known it was that big of a deal to her, I would have let her do this back at Shiprock. It takes her a couple of times, but she bashes the lock off without even damaging the rest of the box. She looks to me to open it, but I shake my head. Aww.
Nope, that's all you.
But she shakes her head too.
We worked together to find it, so we'll open it together.
Aw, there you go. And she places her hand over mine, guiding it to the lid.
Ready?
Yeah.
She maneuvers my hand to flip the box open, and it's full of dull-colored nuggets. Like a moldy fast food meal. What? I take one out, bouncing it in my palm and feeling the heavy softness that's almost familiar by now. Then I pass it to Marina, who treats it with her usual reverence. She gently sets it back in the box and then smiles.
We're pretty good at this whole treasure hunting thing, huh?
I shut the box and nod.
Yeah, we're not bad.
Yeah, they found 2 of them. And even when the box is closed and radiates a heavy aura, one that's almost intimidating whenever I come near it. I place it in the drawer and seal it away, a sigh of relief following.
2 down, 1 to go.
Whoa, there's only one more piece left?
I think so. There's only some experts writing about historical relevance after the next entry.
Flopping down on the couch next to Marina, I take a sip of my coffee to flip the final entry of the journal. Marina glosses over the page, a hazy look forming in her eyes as she soaks it in.
I can't believe it's almost over.
Yeah, it's weird that it hasn't even been that long.
Yeah. The motorhome goes quiet, the buzz of the generator humming in the background.
Well, it's not over yet. We still gotta figure out where it is, and then there's still the search.
I think Marina's enthusiasm is becoming infectious. She simply nods, and now just gazing into her lap.
Well, let's see what it says.
After several days of travel, I believe I have finally arrived at my first destination. It is well known that I have an absolute eye for locations. After all, this is how I found my precious bounty. So it is no mistake that I easily found the perfect hiding place within this valley. I arrived on horseback in the glistening peak at noon. Looking for shelter from the coming night, I began noticing something different, something distinct. Crimson, all of it. Shades lighter than pink and darker than blood. The color stained it all, from giant unmovable stones to the tiniest grains of sand. I was as if the land had absorbed the sun's heat and reflected it outwards. Even at sunset, the cave I settled in emanated a bright red glow that speckled out from its opening. That night, as I laid on the ground watching the flames of my fire shoot up the cave's roof, I wondered if there were more places like this out in this unsettled land. During my travels on trail, I was too preoccupied with preparations to observe the world around me. But now that I have achieved success, maybe I shall. It would be a shame if my superb observational skills went to waste. I was never certain about the other locations, and considering how many giant rocks, canyons, and archers there are in the country, most of them were probably just a fluke. But this is unmistakable. The vivid and breathtaking imagery, the constant illusions and flames, and most importantly, the heat.
He hid it in the Valley of Fire.
Marina snaps back her attention, my conviction pulling her back from Marina Land.
Are you sure?
Positive. There's no other place it could be.
Wow.
Oh.
You might as well have shot down my momentum with an elephant gun.
Oh, that's all?
Yep.
No. Ooh, what's that? A place always on fire?
She narrows her eyes to an unimpressed squint. If they could shoot lasers, they would be shooting lasers right now.
Amber, how dumb do you think I am?
I didn't say you were...
Always on fire, really?
Now I feel dumb for saying it.
You probably should.
Ouch. If her enthusiasm infectious, then so is my unrelenting realism. It's corrupting her innocence.
By the way, what's the Valley of Fire?
Well, maybe not too infectious. Massaging my scalp, I shake my hair, hopefully creating enough new wrinkles in my brain that will help with explaining this.
Alright, so take a whole bunch of rock, sand, and dirt, okay?
Okay.
Now make most of it red.
My explanation is met with a vacant stare.
I swear, it's a lot cooler than I'm making it out to be. It's just kind of hard to explain without pictures.
Don't worry, I believe. Sounds awesome. Where is it anyway?
A little ways into Nevada.
Nevada?
Her knees bounce, jolting the table.
Are we even old enough to gamble?
There's more in Nevada than Vegas, dummy.
Still, isn't that pretty far?
That might work to our benefit. I'll need to check the map again, but I think we'll be passing by a place I want to check out.
Her voice brightens.
You actually want to go sightseeing?
Don't act so surprised. It's not like I was gonna make a straight shot for California before I picked you up. Besides, I think you might like it.
Though she does like virtually everything.
It's a place called Zion. It's a national park here in Utah. I hear it's a hell of a lot greener than the places we've been through. I know we're in a rush, so we won't stay very long.
She's going to burst from excitement, and I still can't resist messing with her. It's cute.
But I guess if you don't think we can afford the time...
I expect her to throw herself at me, hug me, squeeze me with all the energy and happiness she usually does with it. But she doesn't. Sitting perfectly still, Marina takes a single breath and gazes at me with a smile.
I've been surrounded by desert all my life. Seeing green for once would be nice. I'd love to go with you, Amber.
An unsettling hollowness expands into my chest as I realize I don't know how to deal with a serious Marina.
Oh, alright.
Right then. She doesn't answer. Even eyes now closed, arms folded in her lap, the empty, cooperative smile more forced than ever.
Well, there's still a lot of hours left in the day. I'm not sure if we'll make it in time to check into the campground, but we'll be close enough that we can do it in the morning if we leave now.
Marina nods. We scooch out of the booth and walk the 10 awkward steps to our seats, strapping ourselves in. I switch on the ignition, the RV snorting into being. I reach for the cassette player, then I look at Marina, already lost in her thoughts as she stares out the window. I don't have the heart. No. I don't have the courage to snap her out of this time. Sighing, I bring my hand back without pressing play and pull the motorhome into drive. Too bad, too. I think I'm really starting to like Marina's hugs. Hours and several cups of coffee later, we've arrived at our destination, or at least close enough to easily check in the morning. Enough hidden, yet hidden enough to not get towed. Marina looks to the window, but her eyes drift back over to me, and then mine to hers. For one drown-out second, our eyes are interlocked, petrified by the other stares. Then time continues. Our heads swing in the other direction so fast it takes my mind a few moments to catch up. The side of her cheek I can still see is flushed. Glancing in the rearview mirror, I find mine are too. I grip the steering wheel, then cautiously, without turning my head, look back to Marina, and she notices. Our eyes connect again. Blush, rinse, repeat. The past 4 hours have been excruciating, especially while fighting the urge to throw on music. I wanted to give Marina the space she needed to say what she has to, or give myself the space to blurt out what I need to say. It was just... Again, Marina looks, I jump, and we blush. Hey Karumi, how you doing? Never the right time. Deciding I've had enough, I hop out of my seat and stretch, and Marina follows. I grab my mug from the holder and drag myself across the stretchy carpet to the sink. Small jolt shocks my finger as I reach for the faucet. The mug slips from my hand and crashes onto the counter, splashing coffee everywhere.
Crap. Let me help.
Marina springs over and reaches for a kitchen rag, but I swat her hand and grab it just as she does.
Don't worry.
Now we're forced to look directly at each other, but there's no blushing this time. I nod and pull away the rag from her finger. I nod and pull away the rag as her fingers slide down the fabric.
I got this.
She stares down at the counter, the spilled coffee trickling onto the floor with a steady drip.
Oh.
Without another word, she slouches back to the couch.
If you give me a sec, I can set up the bed.
The bed's metal frame slaps down with a loud clank that vibrates underneath my feet, followed by the couch cushions swishing past me, landing on the other side of the motorhome.
For ya.
Huh. Damn it. Whatever, I'll deal with this in the morning. I toss the rag into the sink and head to my room, hesitating in front of the slider. Please don't let it end like this.
Amber.
Oh boy. There's a pause. Several times I hear small gasps, like she's about to speak, but they all just melt into sighs. That face though, huh? Yeah, that's a sad looking face. Alright, Lauren, I'll see you soon, man. Have a good night, my dude. Thanks for coming in, dude. This is longer. This is lasting a lot longer than I thought it would. I thought we'd only be reading for like an hour and a half, 2 hours tonight.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
My hand falls into a fist, my fingernails clawing deep into my skin. I step into the room and shut the slider behind me, immediately throwing my face onto the pillow. I can feel my heart pounding as I roll onto my back. Lying there, twisted up in my sheet, it just keeps beating and beating, never settling down. Managing to lift myself up on my elbows, I look at the picture next to the slider. The one with a vinyl sleeve. I still remember how his hand felt against my head, from the bony joints of his fingers to how their calluses massaged my scalp. For such a breezy old man, it's amazing to think how strong and confident his love was. I let my head fall back against the bed and rest my forearm over his face.
Oh man, what am I gonna do, Gramps?
That is an interesting way for that chapter to end. What the hell is going through her? What the hell is she wondering about? What am I gonna do, Gramps? Like, it definitely makes me wonder what's going on here. A brisk wind curls around me as I step out onto a patch of dirt that can barely be called a parking spot, in a place that can barely be called a campground. Misty curtains have settled over the nearby hills and mountains, and small specks of leftover morning dew occasionally drip on me from above. Bending down, I drop my backpack and pull on the tongue of my assorted new hiking boots. A little big, but they'll work. Considering these came from the stash of supplies we borrowed from Mariah in New Mexico, her feet must be frickin' huge.
All set?
Marina is standing behind me, frowning at her own Velcro-strapped boots.
Just about. These boots are pretty big, though.
You think so? They feel a bit snug to me.
Maybe you guys should swap boots. Sheesh, never mind about Mariah.
Hey, forget about the treasure. Let's just dress you up as Bigfoot and turn you in for a cash reward.
The joke is awful and I know it. Still, Marina plays along, sticking her tongue out in a half-playful manner before she forces a tired smile. The whole time, she doesn't make eye contact. So much for lighting the mood. Last night's sudden tension is still present. Even though we try to ignore it or pretend it isn't there, we both know it. We both can't look at each other directly, and our conversation just feels awkward and stilted now. But we pretend everything's normal as we try to put on our best performances and reenact our usual routine.
So, how long is the hike?
The brochure said about 90 minutes each way. Might take even longer in this weather.
Oh.
I can feel the gulf between us. It's like yet another canyon. Except I don't know how to cross this one.
The picture in the brochure was super pretty. Angel's Landing, right?
Now it's her turn to try and lighten the mood. I hate how we're both too afraid to just address the issue. But I'm just as guilty as she is here. I sigh and play along the best I can. I don't understand.
It's nice.
I don't understand where all this tension's coming from. I mean, I've been reading and paying attention to this whole visual novel, but for the life of me, I don't understand what is this tension that they both feel and they don't want to address. I guess I'm lost. Yeah, it's nice. See?
It's supposed to be the most scenic view in Zion.
That's what Gramps told me anyway. This hike was one of his favorites, and the view is so lush, and there's so many trees and plants that he discovered several new shades of green just up here. It was one of the spots that he was most looking forward to visiting with me. I glance back up at the mountains. The mist doesn't look like it will clear anytime soon. In fact, it seems to be swallowing up more of the landscape. It's got Marina's attention too. She stares up at it as if she's picking out specific details of the fog. And while she's distracted, I let my gaze rose over her again. Guilty, like I'm sneaking glances, but I don't even care. Admiring the sweep of her shoulders down to her collarbone and the rest of her curves of her body. I let myself examine her like I did when we first met, and like I've been consciously abstraining from, looking her over like it doesn't matter if she catches me anymore. She doesn't, though. I may as well be invisible to her right now while she studies the mountaintops. And I want her to pay attention to me. She's wearing her usual boutique brand clothes. Their cute frillness is just as perfect as ever for Marina, but they clash with the clunkiness of the ugly brown boots.
You sure you want to wear that? They might just get in the way.
She gasped, almost offended by the suggestion that she wear anything else.
But my skirt is so comfy. Aren't you supposed to wear comfy clothes on hikes? Besides, with a name like Angel's Landing, it has to be pretty relaxing.
She gives me a big, honest smile, tipping her head to the heels. It's the first real smile I've seen from her all day.
So, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
I melt, letting her skewed reasoning fall to the wayside just this once. Warm fuzzies and a goofy grin take over my dour mood, just for a moment.
Alright, but no whining if they end up being a problem.
Flinging the backpack over my shoulder, we head for the shuttle that leads the trail. Logs and a stone fire pit adorn the side of each lot that we pass. Maybe when we get back, we'll go to the camp store and pick up some supplies to roast marshmallows. I think she'd like that. Marina's heavy breathing guides me as we slog our way uphill, the previous light mist having now morphed into a thick and dreary fog. I cling to the chained railing as I stumble my way up the trail of rocks. It's the only protection from the sheer drop-off beside us. All it would take is one slip for me to take a nosedive into the valley below, and I wouldn't even see it coming. Turns out the fluffy and enticing name Angel's Landing doesn't come with the relaxing stroll Marina was hoping for. This feels more like a ghastly death march. My sweat-clenched legs feel like pudding under the anchor that is a measly 5-pound backpack. No one else on the shuttle even bothered to attempt to hike alongside us. I attempt to form words beneath pained breaths, feeling like a rock is being smashed into my lungs with each step.
We should turn back. Can't see Jack. It's not safe up here.
Wow.
What?
She sounds like she's doing about as well as me, echoing the same lung-puncturing gasps.
But we're so close! There's no way we're not almost there!
We stop, collapsing against our knees as we try to catch our breath.
Not gonna mean a lot if we end up falling off a cliff.
I thought you were the one who wanted to do this so bad.
Every couple of words are punctuated by her gasping for breath.
Yeah, but...
Amber, please, let's keep going.
Her voice is a whimper, fragile and meek, and I fold.
Okay.
Marina has a way of making me shut up when she wants to, whether she knows it or not. Today, it doesn't make a difference. I'm not going to be the one who makes things worse. She's wrong about one thing, though. I wasn't the one who wanted the hike up here. Gramps was. It gets easier after our break. The trail begins to plateau and the steepness evens out, fading behind us until the return trip.
I think we're already here. See? What did I tell you?
Marina darts ahead, disappearing into the fog, so she can look at the mythical view that the brochure and I have preached to her, and that Gramps to me. But if my suspicions are right, this weather and the view aren't going to be very compatible. Following behind, I step out of the cloudy murk and into an area that offers only a slightly more visibility. Wow. Marina stands still on the center of the cliff, her hand clutched to her heart. What should have been a bird's eye view of Zion is nothing but a sea of fog. The lush greenery and full valleys are invisible. Only a few overgrown bushes and some rocky points peek out above the clouds. I was expecting it, but the sight itself really is numbing. The hollowness in my stomach, the one I've gotten used to feeling, rears its head once again, only intensified by Marina's silence. any expression shrouded by her bangs as she tilts her head down.
Sorry.
Gently, she shakes her head.
Don't worry about it. It's not your fault. You tried to warn me.
Marina.
But I don't know what to say. I'm disappointed, too. There were a lot of places Gramps always talked about visiting. After we settle down and kick back for a few years. After I finish repairing the RV. After I get better. This place came up more than the others, though. Not just Zion, but the landing. Kept saying we were going to take a hike up here and have a picnic and maybe watch the sun come up. A slight smile comes to my face as I think about him trying to make that hike. I'd have liked to have seen that geezer try. While I'm not a big enough sap to try and make all of my and Gramps' plans happen now, it would have been nice to have seen the view. With Gramps, Marina, and everything that's happened over the past month, it just seemed fitting to make this trip. Angel's Landing. I glance back to Marina, the hand that was clutched to her chest now stretched outwards, grasping at the empty air. A slight breeze blows, ruffling her hair. She looks beautiful. She looks angelic. I didn't go to church much as a kid, but she looks like someone I'd see on a stained glass window, right next to a rendition of Calvary of Skull Hill. It's frustrating to have come this far for nothing. But is it because of the fog? Because of Gramps? Or because of Marina? My teeth grit, grinding against each other under what feels like unimaginable weight.
Come on, let's go.
I turn around and begin down the slope. There's nothing else worth seeing up here. Marina doesn't follow. No spirited footsteps trailing behind me. No speeding bullet blazing ahead.
Marina, we're going.
It comes out with more bite than I intended, but I don't care. I just want to get out of here now. Marina is hesitant to answer, but eventually manages to spit it out, sounding more like a question than an actual statement.
I don't want to.
What?
I don't want to leave. Not yet, anyway.
Annoyed, I turn back to her for an explanation, only to be greeted with a fleeting look instead.
I'm used to it by now. I know I am. But do you think we could wait a little longer? Just to see if the fog clears?
I don't know what it is. I respond with a blank stare. It's like she's not even talking to me.
Don't be stupid.
I start back down the hill, not bothering to wait for Marina this time.
It's past noon. If it hasn't cleared by now, then it's not going to anytime soon.
So much for not making things worse. Wow. Feels bad, man. I nudge the fire with a stick, and it doesn't do any good though, as the logs just tumble on top of each other, smothering the already pitiful flames. For a moment, our lot is only lit by the few remaining embers in the pit. Sighing, I grab the bottle of lighter fluid and squirt it into the ashes. An artificial flame roars into existence and then peters to the size of a pathetic candle flicker just as quickly. I plunge the stick back into the fire and scrape cinders from the glowing wood. Eventually, a flame catches on a charred log and grows until the pit is blazing once again.
Aha! About damn time.
The joy is exclusive to me, however, as Marina stays silent, staring into the fire.
Want another s'more?
She bounces back to life.
Oh my god, yes, please.
She catches herself and switches back to broodiness.
I mean, sure, I guess.
I roll my eyes but can't help smiling on the inside. No matter how hard she tries, she's still the same Marina she's always been. I grab a marshmallow and stick it into the end of a bent coat hanger before handing it her. Without another word, she plops it into the fire. Meanwhile, my eyes are drawn to the neglected bag of hot dogs lying behind the chocolate and graham crackers, unopened and ignored. I bought them because I thought Marina would like a variety, but I should have known that she would only go for the marshmallows. She's been devouring them. She opened a bag when we left the store, and it was half empty by the time we got back to the campsite. She clung to the bag like a security blanket the whole way. It's a miracle there were any left. Shrugging, I take one of the hot dogs out of the bag and impale it onto my coat hanger. Then I put it into the fire next to Marina's. Even when we're this close to each other, there's still an air of tension. The one that's pervaded since we left Arches. Neither of us have addressed it, but the inevitability of the treasure, the thick uneasiness that hangs over us, it's suppressed, but it's definitely there. So I guess they're talking about, like, since this is going to be the last treasure they look for together, then eventually it's going to be taking her back home to Carlsbad, New Mexico, and them saying goodbye. I mean, that's got to be what's on their mind, causing this tension, if you would, is saying goodbye to each other. But it's gotten better since we left Angel's Landing. The snacks were a peace offering of sorts, I guess. Although I was pleasantly surprised that she sat so close to me, even with 3 other logs around the fire pit. Yep. I fix my gaze on the flames. The dog is slimy, oozing with condensation that drips and sizzles in the ashes.
Oh god, it's on fire! It's on fire! Fire! Fire!
Marina's coat hanger whooshes over me like a spastic comet, the marshmallow now a smoldering ball of inferno.
Here, give it to me.
But it's on fire, Amber! Fire!
I can see that. Just give it.
She panics, squirming as her precious marshmallow burns before my very eyes.
Alright, just don't hurt yourself, please.
Frantically, she passes me the wire, biting her nails as I try to blow it out. Soon, the fire clears. The marshmallow, once white and fluffy, is now black and charred.
Aw, now it's ruined.
It's no big deal. You can still eat it.
Preparing the s'more, I break apart the chocolate and cracker and then squish the marshmallow between them.
Ew, gross. But it's all black and stuff.
That's what makes it good.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, I think I might prefer it burned.
Yep,
That's so... ew.
that's so you. She gives me a nervous laugh.
Here, just try it.
Yep, like you tried the chocolate milk, like you made her try the chocolate milk. Marina stares at the s'more and just gulps.
Fine, but only because you asked.
Closing her eyes, she opens her mouth wide. Wide open. This time, it's my turn to gulp. I shuffle back. Subtly, trying to avoid eye contact, and once again failing, I pop the s'more in her mouth and let out a restful sigh. Like bubblegum, she munches on it in the corner of her mouth, intently trying to dissect the flavor in her own cute way.
So...
Her eyes grow wide in shock.
It's good.
right? Doesn't it give it a nice smoky flavor?
It's a little bitter at first, but the marshmallow gets really crunchy. So good.
I told you so. You just gotta give these things a shot.
I can't believe I had my first s'more and found a way to make it better in the same day. I feel like that would take most people like a bajillion years to figure out. But it only took me one night 'cause I got you, Amber.
She's so excited over a s'more, over a burnt marshmallow s'more. How funny. Gobsmacked? Dumbfounded? They're both stupid, fancy words, but I think they work when trying to figure out this, thing sitting beside me.
Amber?
You're kidding me!
What?
Your first s'more?
Well, I've seen people eat them on TV and stuff before, but
You have never ever had a s'more in your entire life.
now that I think about it, I guess I haven't.
That confirms it.
Huh? Confirms what?
You're an alien. The government has just been keeping you hidden all this time. That's why I met you near Roswell. It's the only explanation.
I am not. If I were an alien, then why do I look human?
That's just a flesh suit. A disguise so you can blend in.
That's mean.
That's
You
funny.
can't just buy these good looks at the costume store.
What's your sector ID? Is this your first time away from your home planet?
Amber, stop. It's not my fault.
Her face puffs out, and I have to resist the urge to poke and deflate it. If I don't quit, she may actually start pouting.
I'm sorry, I'll stop.
I'm tempted to squeeze one more joke out, but decide against it as I try to hold back the snicker under my breath.
I think I like you better when you're serious.
She crosses her arms, turning away as she closes both eyes to block me out. Then, with a grin, one eye popped open, we both burst out laughing. Since the hike, the fog has climbed down the hill, enveloping the campground. Even here, it's carved out a small pocket, the breezy chill surrounding us as we take in the warm glow of the fire. It feels
But for
nice.
real, I still can't believe this is your first time leaving home.
She settles down a bit and places her hands in her lap, teetering side to side as she looks into the sky, even though there's nothing to look at but the mist.
Yeah, sometimes I have trouble believing it too. Since there's so many of us, I guess Mom and Dad could never afford to take us anywhere.
Wow. And that's what I thought. If her family is as big as she says, it's not like they could have just packed up and traveled like me and Gramps did.
You said you have 9 brothers and sisters, right?
Yep, there's 9 of us, plus Mom and Dad, so 11 altogether.
Jesus.
Right? Everyone says our house is pretty big, but it's always been so cramped that I've never been able to tell. I've never even had my own room. I've always had to share one with some of my sisters. My older brother shared too, until one of them went off to college.
Is that the same brother whose car got torn apart by Mariah?
She laughs guiltily.
Yeah, he always called it his love wagon.
If that thing was a love wagon, then my motorhome is a love palace.
Ooh, that's a good name for it.
Don't even start.
Anyway, he said he wanted to get a new one when he got to Salt Lake City, so I don't think he'll be too angry.
Hold on, that's in Utah too. Why didn't you tell me? The detour would have been a pain in the ass. But if you wanted to visit him, I wouldn't have minded the extra miles. Not if it was for you.
Aww. Marina does a double take, and I realize I've given too much away.
You'd have to pay for gas, though.
Marina blinks, then smiles. Crisis averted.
Nah, it's okay. I want to do this without my family's help. Besides, it's only a community college.
Your brother moved from New Mexico to Utah so he could attend a community college?
Uh-huh. He sends me a gift every month. Last month, it was a top hat. I put it right on top of the desk in my room.
She pauses for a moment.
Mine and my sister's room, I mean.
Your family sounds about as weird as you.
Really? Huh. Yeah, I guess we are.
She beams, wearing the title Weird like a badge of honor.
That's not a good thing. Actually, maybe it is.
I like it. Besides, Dad keeps us all in line. He's a defense lawyer, super straight-laced. You remind me of him, actually. He likes everything nice and orderly, which is bad for him because he's surrounded by us, but...
She talks for a long time, chattering and laughing about her family, a smile never leaving her face. I almost get lost in it. I almost want to. For the precious moments that she speaks, I forget the tension that shadowness arches, and can believe it was never there. I love that about Marina. Even when we're wet with rain, or humoring truck drivers, or racing a lunatic down the highway, she never hesitates to smile. For her, it's always poised on the brim, waiting to shine through. I could listen all night, but she trails off only for a short time later.
I'm sorry. This must be boring, right?
Nah, I can tell you love him a lot. It was always just me and Gramps. So it's sorta interesting to see how other families work.
The lot falls silent, save for the crackling flames. I brace myself for what I know is coming.
Hey, Amber? What happened to your mom and dad?
I stare into the fire. It pops, casting up delicate embers that fall and vanish in the dirt. Alright guys, with that, this is going to be a lot longer than I thought it was. We are basically double the length of time that I thought this was going to take tonight to finish. I thought we'd be done with an hour and a half to 2 hours. We're at 3 hours and 14 minutes. And it looks like there's quite a bit more to get to here. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream, and we will make a part 4 coming in the coming days to this very long visual novel. Longer than I thought it was, for sure. But hopefully you guys are enjoying it. If so, make sure you hit that like button, guys. Thanks so much for being here, and we will get to the end of this visual novel. It looks like it might be kind of a sad visual novel for sure. Looks like there's definitely some tension here as they're both thinking about what is coming with goodbye. So whoever's here, Karumi or I don't know who else here, but thanks so much for being here, guys. Again, make sure you hit that like button. If you're not yet subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thanks so much, everybody. You can comment down below if you're watching this video later. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll finish this with a part 4 right here on my channel soon. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one.